Oh, come on.
Yep. As soon as you get off the bus, look, they're showing it. They hand you a fucking phone.
Wow.
So she get logged in.
Welcome
Jesus.
to New York, bitches.
Jesus Christ.
We should move to New York, see if we qualify. Hey, we just crossed the border. Give me that free phone, Jack.
Does he have Tom up and running? Yep.
Well, did you see Tom lost that bet pretty big time?
What bet was that?
He thought the lady in Wyoming was going to win by a surprise.
Oh, who? Cheney? Yeah, but he told me it was 100 to 1. He just did it.
She swept by 40%.
Yeah, but he said he only did that because it was 100 to 1.
Well, okay, to me that would be like betting the Broncos first string plays a high school team. I'd give you 1,000 to 1 odds all day long.
I agree with you. I mean, there's certain bets you just don't take.
Well, there's certain bets that you can't even find anywhere because
Right.
You're going to win every time.
Right. No,
If I throw this baseball up, will it come down? Will gravity be here in a minute?
Unless it's a waffle ball. A wiffle ball.
It'll still come down. A helium-filled balloon. Eventually it will come down.
I agree with you. I mean, there's certain bets you just don't take. Right.
Who's there? Is anybody at the Martino house? Yup. What is shaking, bacon?
You there?
Testing. Hello. Good morning.
Hey, Paul. What's up, man?
How you doing?
How's the water biz, Jack?
It's doing. I'm grateful.
Everything's slowing down, though, isn't it? Not just you,
Is
everything.
that Paul?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Good morning. How are you?
Yo, Paul, how are you? How was your weekend?
It was wonderful. Had a lot of fun. We're searching for a antique store out outside of Parker that's in a barn.
Oh,
yeah,
you mean Castle
It's
Rock?
called the Barn.
No. This is completely different. Colleen went there one time, so Saturday we're just like driving all over trying to find it. Of course, we didn't find it.
We saw a
You know why,
shitload.
Paul? You know why they closed down? Was it on down 83 on the east side?
Yeah. They're
They
closed.
closed. It's called the Big Toolbox now or something.
We
Used
were-
to be a bunch of antique stuff, but you should go to Castle Rock to the Barn. They've got great stuff.
The most of those antique stores I've ever seen was last week, man. It was up in Wyoming. The whole fucking town was antiques.
Oh, I love collecting antiques. I got a bunch of old radios and.
Oh, cool.
I call it junk.
I don't think Mark would part with it, but we have a pretty cool old submarine clock
Oh man, we
from
got
like the 30s or something.
Nope, can't touch it, Jack.
I got a bunch of 1938 radios. I got a Tombstone radio, so it's a lot of fun.
Wow, cool. But yeah, that closed down, I think, last year.
I call it junk.
Gotcha.
Oh, I see what's happening here. We've got. There we go. Da-da-da.
But we're still averaging, 2 installs a day, so I'm grateful plus service.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I forgot who, just everything. It doesn't matter who I talk to. Everything is slowed down big time.
Yeah, I think what's helped us a lot, though, is the letter that those communities got. People are really concerned about, drinking water quality.
And they should be, man.
That's serious stuff. I've been saying whatever we dump down the sink doesn't go away.
Coming up on Monday, Dan is back in the saddle, recapping the weekend in Colorado politics and the very latest in the fallout from the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago. Join us at 4, right here on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino, fighting for you, solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. After 40 years, all you have to do is listen, and you get the help you need, including great products and services like RealCBDThatWorks.com. That's for pain, inflammation, anxiety. It also helps a great deal with with just overall moods. Really, it does. Anyway, people are touting it and loving it, and you can buy it in any form, including anti-inflammatory makeup blends, which are unbelievable for eyes and face. RealCBD.com, Tom, and the promo code 30% off. Welcome to the show. You can call us right now at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. And you can call us anytime, including now, at 303-MARTINO. If you do that and we're not on the air, you just leave a message, and we will call you back, and there will be no waiting. That's 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. And if that's not enough, 57739 is the text number. That's the short code. You can text the show, and I will read them, if they're relevant, of course, 57739. Or you can talk back on the iHeartRadio app. There's a little microphone emblem there. If I have to explain more than that, we don't want you talking back. So go to the iHeartRadio app, hit that little microphone. Do we have Dragon this morning? Who do we have on the board today?
We got the mighty and fearless Shannon Scott.
Oh, Shannon. Okay, Shannon, you're going to play some of those, right? You know how to check them if they want to talk back to us. That will be wonderful. Okay. Anyway, so that's what we do. Now, let's talk a little about the economy, personal finance, and things around us. First and foremost, a survey of American businesses say most of them are not hiring, put hiring freezes on, or will cut back on employment because of fear in many cases, in other cases, slowing down. So, we have to ask ourselves, why is this happening? Why is it happening? Any wisdom? Why is it happening? We're slowing down, and people fear a recession. Now, I want to ask a technicality here. If President Biden signed the Inflation Reduction Act, and we go into a recession, isn't that technically stopping the inflation? Isn't that inflation reduction when you go into a recession? I want to know.
Well, we're not in a recession, according to them, so.
But if we do go into a recession, I want to know if that is technically...
Tom, you're missing it. We'll never go into a recession under Biden.
I know. Okay, according to them, right. Now, next thing we have to talk about, just a number of things, but there's an amazing thing. So unemployment will start ticking up. That will cause people to fear a little more, and then the housing market's going to be affected next. I don't know when Frank Duran is scheduled to come in next, but I would love to get his take on the housing market now, because I think of all the emails and stuff and some of the concerns we get, people are now selling below asking price, but I'd like to ask Frank. So if we have a chance to get Frank on, I would love to do that. Meanwhile, if you have any problems, questions, or complaints, you can call 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
You know, just real quick, man, there's more, I think, open jobs, like 4 or 5 million open jobs than unemployed workers. So I don't see unemployment ticking up, and none of us have ever lived through anything like this before, but people simply don't want to work. So I don't know how you factor that in.
I don't, hold on. I don't know if you want to call it unemployment, but if people hire less and openings are no longer there, what do you call that?
Well, that's
a reduction in the workforce.
But it's not going that way because there's so many jobs open. There is still, every place you pass is still looking to hire. I realize some of the corporate jobs and stuff like that are going away now, but there's still so many jobs out there.
Yeah, but the jobs out there are mostly service-related.
Agreed.
And they're entry level.
Or home improvements or things like that. Now, there aren't, like mechanics for cars. That's not necessarily entry level. They eat what they kill.
That's right.
They can work as hard as they want and make as much as they want.
HVAC techs, plumbers, electricians.
Right. That's not necessarily entry level, although.
Well, if you want to call $100,000 to $200,000 a year entry level, but I don't think most people do. You know.
Now, why do we? I want to know. See, I'm looking for the overall reason. Why is violence on an uptick? I mean, Denver has never seen more crime.
Less police and bad DAs.
Do you think that criminals really feel, that there's not much repercussion to committing crime?
Well,
Do you think that's what...
Where was it? I think it was New York last week. A guy just comes up to some random dude, sucker punches him. The guy ends up in the hospital. His brain is bleeding. And
Right.
within 4 hours, the guy is out of the system. The cops booked him in on attempted murder. The DA brought it down to a nothing burger, and the guy was cut free. So
Right, I understand.
do you think that guy learned a lesson?
Do you think that in Colorado, violence over the weekend was at an all-time high with multiple shootings and stabbings? Why?
Because they're not getting prosecuted. I think Mark is right. There's no question that if you know you're not going to be prosecuted, you tend to be more violent.
These jackasses think, oh, we're going to go ahead and give them a break and they're going to learn a lesson and never do it again. It's the opposite. They go, oh, I just walked into a Macy's and got my wife a new wardrobe for free, and I didn't get in any trouble. And if I did get caught, I wouldn't get in any trouble.
What
so
about
they're going to do it again.
What about the flash mob? Have you heard about the flash mob?
That one in 7-Eleven was unbelievable. It's almost sad to watch that we've come to that as a society. It's insane.
Well,
It's a flash mob in Denver.
the message
They're
went
all
out.
over.
The message went out, and I don't know how to get this across, that criminals are victims. That's the message. The overall message, if you read between the lines, is that society is to blame and criminals are the victims.
Okay, and let's even go there. In fact, there's a part of me that actually agrees with that. So some people created the poor, and we've kind of held them down maybe. I don't know, but even if you believe that, the answer is not what they're doing now. We need to come up with a better answer, even if you're on that thought.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Now, I want to switch on a technical note here. Apple, for the first time ever, has a self-service repair store. It's really online. There's no store you go to. But you can order all the parts for iPhones and laptops and instructions on do-it-yourself repair. Think about that. That is a major deal. Apple was so proprietary, they didn't even let independent shops sell stuff. Now Apple is going to allow you to buy parts. I mean individual parts for your phone to get your phone fixed. To me, that is amazing. And I don't know how many people can actually do it, but I'm sure that what the good news is, these guys that know how to do it can now order parts directly from Apple. Before, you had to go aftermarket because Apple refused to sell parts. Having a laptop was a pain in the ass. It has to go back to the Apple store or the factory. Well, it goes back to the Apple store, which goes back to the factory. And also, Elon Musk has committed to upping the speeds and reliability of his network. He's saying Starlink will be the standard, bar none. He's putting thousands more satellites up. Everyone's trying to stop him.
I love
because
it.
He will own the backbone. He is saying it will be more reliable than any hardwire, more reliable than anything else you can get, and cheaper. And he wants to bring internet to every corner of the world for cheap. Now that is, that's an amazing thing if he does that. Because really, broadband is the future for TV, for email, for phones. Think about it. You don't need Comcast cable. Cable TV, what? It's a brontosaurus. You don't need any of this crap. You don't need newspapers. All you need is broadband and get whatever apps you want. You can download, look at anything you want. By the way, John has a comment. Go ahead, John. Our number is 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John, what's happening?
Yeah, just real quick. I mean, everybody wondering about this crime. Because of Corona, the prison system's released over 30% of the hardened criminals. And you give them permission to wear a mask. What do you expect?
Oh, yeah, there is permit. You're right about masks. Although I don't think any of the people in that flash mob had masks on. But, John, do you really believe it was the pandemic that shifted everything?
100%. You isolate people. You put them in isolation.
Well, that defund the police movement was a pretty big part of it, too.
No, I really believe that defund. Now, listen, we all know that the George Floyd incident. It was terrible. We know that it was terrible. But to extrapolate that to every police officer in the United States, a message went out that police are not good and that people are being taken advantage of. And that message went out, and that's where all the riots and everything, they got the message that it's okay. Civil disobedience, by the way, is okay under certain circumstances, but is it to demand that the police be defunded and to take over police stations? Didn't they occupy a police station in either Seattle or Portland or somewhere out there? They actually occupied a police station, and people got the message that it's okay to be rebellious like that in a criminal fashion and not get prosecuted. Now listen, as a result, all of our goods and services went up in price. We also have pandemic leading to the shortages, and we're in a bad way right now. We are. I mean, but we do have wealthy people and we do have poor people. And by the way, I want to talk about quiet quitting when we come back, because that will affect every one of us. Quiet quitting. And that is a major consumer issue. And you know, there is a little part of me that says, I understand it. There's a part of me that has some advice on how to get around it. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Pro Football Hall of Famer and 3-time champion. Trust me, I know about joint pain.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith talks about chronic joint pain and exciting new regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics.
I know what it's like to fight through pain, but now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced, all-natural regenerative medicine that can give you lasting relief with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Do you suffer with constant pain from arthritis or injury? Pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or lower back? Don't assume steroids, pain meds, and surgery are your only options. Regenerative, restorative, natural solutions are now available.
Don't let your joint pain keep you from doing the things you love.
Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation and learn how regenerative medicine can repair and restore damaged joint tissue.
Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics, 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
Affordable Interest Mortgage has the liquid loan. The liquid loan is an incredible loan. It's a 30-year line of credit. This line of credit has simple interest only. So after paying off your first, or if you don't have a first, you pay interest only, and you keep your payments lower. You only have to pay principal if you want to, and some people aren't in their house long enough to pay principal. If you're only going to be in it 3 to 5 years, maybe 6 years, why pay principal? So what they do is pay interest only. But if you change your mind, you can put a plump down on the principal. It's totally liquid. It's totally up to you. And that's all because of Affordable Interest Mortgage. You got to give them a call, 303, let me find it here. Okay, 720-895-0500. 720-895-0500. Also go online, theliquidloan.com. And in fact, that loan, if you have money in the bank, normal money in the bank, just regular money in the bank, it counts against your balance, which means you pay less interest. You got to find out more. TheLiquidLoan.com. Another thing that will save you money is the Whole House Fan by QCColorado.com. I have it in this home, and I ran it this morning. See, I'm going to tell you something. You can use it anytime you want, and it takes cool air in from any open window and just circulates the air. And it expels the hottest air from the highest levels. And they have right now special financing that you need to know about. So I want you to call about that. No interest and no payments. And also, it only takes a couple hours. So it's 12 months, no interest, no payments. So get your Whole House Fan today, and you don't pay anything until next year. It'll help you save money on AC bills. It's remote controlled. There's no inside wiring. 303-800-3419. 303-800-3419.
Oh, it's doing great. I've been on it now for about 3.5 years.
Okay.
and everything I'm thinking?
What's that?
That the Saturday service, Saturday business is not necessary anymore because a lot of people work from home.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
My birth certificate girl will be here in a little while, okay?
Oh, cool. I forgot about that.
What is tort law? Addie has tort law from 10:30 to 12:20. I don't know what that is.
You mean, oh, that's her course?
Yeah, she's got contract law, then she has tort.
Yeah.
What is tort?
Tort means that you have an issue that's tortuous. I'm looking it up right now. It's a wrongful act or an infringement of a right. They call it a tort action. So
it's more civil?
It's general, yes. It's for all kinds of civil. Yes, that's exactly right. It's civil liability, tort. Like, okay, let me think. Yeah, if you have an attractive nuisance in your backyard and it injures someone, you have a tort action.
Gotcha.
A civil wrong that causes someone to basically lose money or lose something. It's not crime, it's tort.
Gotcha.
Now, there are some that are both tort and criminal.
So you got all these homeless people because of the evictions, because they didn't want to pay rent. And then I think the next boom is going to be your commercial real estate.
So how do you tell how long these filters are good for? I don't, I love the idea that it's still good. So where do you wait till the thing gets to what? How many parts?
I think once you get about 80%.
What does that mean?
So it's 80% reduction.
Oh, okay.
So when it starts out,
You get your podcasts. Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Tom Martino here. I got Paul the Waterman, by the way. He tested my water, and my filters are still doing great. I never have to buy bottled water. Paul, you what did you test for to see if a filter is working?
total dissolved solids.
So you tested against normal tap water.
Right. So you don't have a water softener, so we test your tap water, which came out to be 178 part per million.
Now, 178 parts of what?
All the dissolved solids that's in the water. Can be hardness, right? Could be sodium, could be metals.
Could it be anything weird?
It could be something weird.
Like Forever Chemicals?
Well, no, Forever Chemicals, that wouldn't be, but it could be weird, something like uranium, something like lead.
Oh, okay. But total dissolved solids are not necessarily dangerous.
Right, correct. Not necessarily. So then your RO, your reverse osmosis system, was at a 14.
So it took out all but 14 parts per million.
Per million, correct.
Wow.
Yep. That's almost, it's been almost a year now, right?
But then if there are other things in water that are diluted,
right,
not total dissolved solids, but you said like prescription drugs, everything you put down the drain
right,
goes back to the water plant. And people don't understand this. Those filters at the water plant don't filter out everything.
Correct. The only thing they're really doing is taking the waste out of the water, right, the physical waste, and then they're pumping it right back to the lakes, streams, or reservoirs, or in some cases, some municipalities just inject it with a total chlorine content, with chlorine and ammonia mixture, and put it right back into the water supply.
And but they dilute those.
Well, yeah, it's all based dilution. Diluted chemicals in our water is based on volume, right?
So diluted chemicals. There are diluted chemicals if we test it down close enough.
Absolutely. That's why people are concerned about fluoride. Right? That's why people are starting to, there's estrogen in the water.
So everything that goes down the sink, even though it goes through a water plant, it's only diluted.
Right. See, the water plants, majority of the water plants don't have a filter capacity or capability.
But it does purify the water, though, for drinking.
Purification is reverse osmosis. Purification is taking everything out.
So a water plant, though, provides us tap water.
Well, that's it. They provide, what's the EPA standards? Everybody should go look at their water district because by law they have to do a water test and it's
But are
for
you
the public
telling
to
me,
see.
I mean, and I'm not talking about on a purist here, because I'm talking about our tap water is generally safe to drink, though, right?
By EPA standards, generally safe. But wait a minute. Now, these communities, water districts, put the letter out because the EPA reduced the standards on the forever chemicals, which are PFOs and PFAs.
Right. They even told us in Denver to use this filter.
Right. So to say safe, I wouldn't say so.
Okay, got you. JR has a comment, then we'll go to Dave, who has a question for Paul the Waterman. JR, what is your comment on crime, the economy, jobs? Listen, I know people say, Martino, I don't want you talking politics. Now, if you construe this as politics, you're crazy. This is life. This is society. This is our life. And that's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. My show has always talked about stuff that affects us in the pocketbook. Go ahead, JR.
Tom, let's call it what it is. I've done it and experienced it myself. Just over this weekend, shootings. You call 911 to report I've got shots fired out of somebody's car. You're on hold. They don't even answer. And then it's a low priority call. These kids, what they're doing is going up and down Academy Boulevard, and they roll down the window, pop out a few caps. I could do it. And you wouldn't even catch anybody because by the time they do it, they shoot at somebody. This guy only got shot in the shoulder. But
I guarantee you that if I did something, I'd be picked up immediately and it'd be in the headlines and the police would prosecute me or the prosecutors to the full extent of the law.
Tom, these kids are not getting caught. So you know what they're doing? Hey, we didn't get caught doing this. 14, 15, 16-year-olds.
No, you're right.
What are they doing next week?
I mean, they have you know, that thing that Mark talked about, punching, there was an initiation one time that you had to go somewhere and just punch and knock out a total stranger. That was the initiation to get into a gang. In other gangs, they even get more violent. But thank you for your comment. One texter says, Tom, if you're a cop, are you going to risk your entire career for folks that don't support you? Now, I kind of think most people support police. If you go on Nextdoor, you can tell that, right? Most people, but many people feel that people have a reason for being a criminal. Mark said he agrees with that people have a good reason for being criminals.
Well, I didn't say a good reason. There's reasons.
No, but yeah, well, but I mean, is it justification, Mark?
I don't call it justification.
What do you call it?
I don't know, but I do.
It is, no, you're right. It's a reason. There are reasons, not justifications.
If you grew up basically, living in a car and watching your father or your mother or someone steal every day,
I know.
That's all you know.
That's right. And we have to do something about that. And
but
I agree
Tom,
with that.
Someone once said there are 3 things you can do to become middle class in the United States. 3 simple things. Finish high school, get a job, and don't have a baby out of wedlock, and you can be middle class.
No, I know. There are truly ways for people to be successful. And now this quiet quitting thing, I'll get into that in a sec. I want to get this question from Dave for Paul the Waterman. I'm going to give priority, of course, to all our callers. Go ahead, Dave. Our number is 303-713-TALK. Dave?
Yeah. I have some property outside Central City where a lot of the mining was, so everybody says the water is really bad. If you shower with it without filtration, turns your hair orange or whatever. So does he think that if I drill a well, because everybody says go to a cistern or just bring in water, if I drill a well, does he feel like he could get a lot of the lead and the iron and the arsenic out of the water, or has he dealt with that up there before?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have customers up there, Central City, Blackhawk, and so what you have is ferrous iron content in hard water, which can easily be removed. And then absolutely good thinking as far as removing the arsenic is, reverse osmosis point of use like Tom has at his home. And so Do you already have a well drilled? Is there a well already there?
No, I'm looking at putting in a couple cisterns, but I can put a well in. The well driller just said it's really bad water, so I didn't know. I mean, just for showers and dishes and stuff like that, I don't know if I would ever drink it anyway. But to get the rest of the stuff out, it's just a cost difference, you know.
Well, right, and well drillers are saying that now because of the new homes that were built, and people are not used to well water or unaware of what well water can be, and so they're getting angry and going back on the realtor and the well driller. So they're learning their lesson, and so they're stating up front, hey, the water quality here is not that good, but it can be treated. So hardness and iron absolutely can be removed. So think about the working water that you use in cleaning in the wash machine and dishwasher. That's the water that we can handle for you.
Right. Now I'm at the framing stage. Would you like to come in and put the system in before, or at what stage would you?
That's a good question. You can put it in anytime, right?
Right. Get the well drilled, and then see, a well can take up to a year to settle. So, you know, if you get the well drilled, then we, you know, run some water. We can test it at that point to see where you're at. But don't be surprised if the water quality changes, you know, up into the first year of operation.
So you wait a few months, let it settle down after your well's drilled.
Okay. All right, then that's what I'll do, and I'll contact them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. More coming right up.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
It's a mostly easy drive throughout the Denver metro this mid-morning. However, one or two scrapes or bruises out there. Up on the northwest end of town, US 36 westbound at Flatiron Circle is blocked due to a semi-rollover. Drivers can exit at Wadsworth and then use McCaslin to get back onto US 36. Through downtown, Colfax Avenue eastbound at Osage, we've got an accident with stop-and-go traffic from I-25. I-25 itself flowing free into and out of the downtown area. Fox 31, Pinpoint Weather, partly cloudy skies today, but warm out there with a hot of 84 degrees. Chance of scattered thunderstorms into the evening with an overnight low of 59. The current temperature in Denver is 74 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
If you're looking for storytelling that isn't saturated with wokeness, then Red Pilled America is the show for you. Great storytelling, zero wokeness. You're going to love it. Listen to Red Pilled America every week on the free iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America.
All right. You know, when it comes to selling jewelry, DavidEllisJewelry.com. Of course you can buy there as well. He's been at 3rd and Clayton for a long time. He's been in town 40 years. And here's the deal. You can sell your jewelry of any kind, whether it's junk and you just want to weigh it and pay it for the precious metals, or you have, of course, like estate jewelry, precious stones, antique jewelry. It's DavidEllisJewelry.com. And as I said, you can find him at 3rd and Clayton in Cherry Creek, 303-322-8779. Ideal Home Loans wants to make you a cash buyer, and it's an amazing program. If you're out looking for a home, before you go, fill out an application with Ideal, and with approved credit, if you find a home right away before the loan's ready, they absolutely positively will back up a cash offer in your name. They'll write a cash offer. And right now, there are a lot of people moving in from California, New York, and other places to Colorado, and they have cash from selling their homes. Get on par with them. IdealHomeLoans.com. Call them for their cash buyer program. That's 303-867-7000.
Severe weather results.
Franchise.com.
3-424-9441. Events by JockeyMail.com.
Hey, Mark, is Miles living with you, or do you have an empty nest?
No, he's living with us.
One big thing in politics. Is Donald Trump running again? And then they want to know if he can really win. Now, Dick Morris has the answers. You know Dick Morris from Newsmax, the rising cable news channel millions are watching. Dick Morris has a new book, The Return, Trump's big 2024 comeback. Newsmax says it's the book of the year. The Return is Trump's secret plan for 2024.
Yeah, he's not on right now.
But the return shows Trump will triumph.
He's got the whole house in the
The return is at bookstores everywhere.
He did his whole house.
Yeah, put the matrix system in there.
Did he need it?
And save almost $28.
It's the KVF in the car, and the residence does everything on there.
Oh boy. My phone's not.
Is it broke?
It was acting weird last week. Maybe it's finally decided it's done with me.
Should get a Samsung.
Let's see. I can't get this phone to work. Oh no. I guess I'll have to get a different... Tommy, I'm out of a phone right now. Is yours working?
Yeah, what's going on?
Shannon? Oh, Shannon's isn't working either. We got problems.
Wait, what are you talking about? Our landlines or our cells?
Oh, I got it. Hang on. I can't make a line that work. Sometimes I can make line...
You mean our phones, our call-in phones?
I can make line 7 work for an outbound.
Just reboot it.
I did.
Shannon will put in a trouble ticket.
That's weird.
Or is yours working, Shannon?
No, his isn't working either.
Here, I'll call.
Well, I think we're fine getting calls, but I was trying to make some outbounds.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I can't make an outbound call. Oh, my God.
Let me try it.
Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. I want to warn you, we're having some phone trouble, so if you have problems getting in, let us know. You can text us. We are getting text, 57739. Just put my name there, I'll know it's for me. And then you can do talk back on the iHeartRadio app. Here's the bottom line. We have really a system that's crumbling a bit, and I know why. We have all tried to do better for our children, and some children that are now grown-ups, whatever gen it is right now, God, I lost track of the gens. You had baby boomers, and then you had X, Y, Z, whatever. You have people, they are tired of trying to strive. They all want to be successful. Don't let them tell you they don't want to be, but they don't like the work and anxiety for getting there. And that's why we have credit card debt. That's why we have crazy student loans and all of that, because people are striving. They are, or they were. And it wasn't getting them anywhere. And then they read about a guy that sells his stock and becomes a billionaire overnight. And there's such a chasm that I think people are pissed off. So instead of trying to strive more, which sometimes it can be disheartening. I mean, look, you look at the Kardashians on social media. You look at some of these celebrities on social media. I remember when Ellen went on social media, and she might have been well-intended. She's on this giant LA estate in California, and she goes on and saying we're all in this together because she's stranded in her 25,000 square foot mansion with acres and acres of greenery and beautiful fenced in, by the way, fenced in land where homeless could not camp out if they wanted to. But she goes on and talks about we're all in this together. I mean, come on. There is a chasm. So you have two ways of reacting to that. You try to get in on it. And once you're in on it, you're kind of like, well, I got mine, you get yours. There is a selfishness. And then, if you can't get in on it, there's a giving up factor. Now, there's two kinds of giving up. There's a I don't know if it's lazy. There's the quiet quitting giving up. Okay, I'm going to work, but I'm not going to bust my ass anymore for this. I am not going to put in extra hours. I am not going to fret over my job. I'm going to live my life. And I think COVID had a lot to do with that because people just realized that anything could happen at any time. And they're sick and tired, I think, of politicians and the government and all this. So they're quiet quitting, saying, I'm just not going to live my entire life for my career or for my job. It's a job. I'm not going to bust my ass. Then there's another kind of quitting, of course, which are just quitting and sucking off of others. I'd rather people quiet quit and do their job. If they don't put in an extra minute, who cares? If they don't put in extra effort, at least they're working. I'd rather them do the quiet quitting than the real quitting and sitting on their ass collecting social services. There are many, 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 many people who pump out babies to get social services, or they have back problems, or they have some kind of disability to get, and they're sitting on their asses. I'm not talking about the genuine people who need help. Then you have the other kind of quitting. I guess I'm talking about three. Quiet quitting, sucking off the system, which, by the way, sucking off the system is something that's encouraged by our government. The next thing is, because being successful and rich is vilified. So you have the quiet quitters, you have the people sucking off the system, and then you have the criminals. And they say, screw you. Screw you. I'm going to take what I want. Now, I understand that rage, and that's what Mark was talking about. Not that it's okay, but we understand it, don't you? Don't we? Okay, so what's the answer? I don't know.
You know, if you don't know how to teach your kids to be a member of society, to go out and work and show them that example. Literally, you don't know because your parents didn't know and their parents didn't know. How do you stop that? Like, if you don't know how to teach it, how do you possibly teach something?
No, you're right. We need mentors, and we need people to care.
I always thought public schools did that when I was younger, but they don't do anything. They're a lost cause.
I'm going to tell you a God's honest truth. I was at Channel 4 years and years and years ago, and there were golf. Do you remember the golf club attacks?
No.
That these young thugs would beat people with golf clubs, okay? Now, this happened a lot, and they finally caught them, okay? But it was a thing. It was a thing. You look it up. Maybe it's not even archived. It's so back. But it was golf clubs were being used to beat people. Now, once these kids were caught, one of them made a statement when somebody yelled out a question to him, "Why did you do it?" And I'll never forget this guy saying, "Ain't no one ever brought me skiing." That was his answer. Ain't no one ever brought me skiing. And I couldn't understand what he was talking about. What do you mean, ain't no one ever brought me skiing? Like he did not feel part of the community or part of Colorado. I don't know what the answer is, because in a way, if you try to mentor people, sometimes you get kicked in the ass that way and stolen from and hurt. And sometimes you got to go through 100 to find one that reacts to it. I don't know what to do.
And Tom, we have to stop equating equality with equity. I think that's a big problem as well.
Well, I think I've said this before. I hate giving things to people because I think it makes people dependent. Just like in the wild, when animals are in the wild and you feed them and nurture them, they no longer have the ability to take care of themselves. Now, I'm not saying you let people suffer and die and starve. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about massive handouts and mamby-pamby nannying. It's bad. And here's the deal. I don't believe in giving things out, but I believe, and I've said this before, I'm a socialist for opportunity. I believe everyone should have the same exact opportunity.
But
I don't
not
give
the same outcome.
I didn't say outcome. I said opportunity.
I'm agreeing with you.
I think everyone, if you give people opportunity.
How's that even possible, though?
Well, I don't know how it's possible,
How
Mark,
is
but I
Bill
think
Gates' kid not going to have better opportunities than any of us?
But Mark, I think it's more realistic or better than trying to control outcomes, because that's what we're doing. We are trying to give people things to make them equal.
It's impossible. Hunter Biden's always going to have it better. It doesn't matter.
Well, okay. I just think, I'm not talking about not having, rich parents and you got to take away their richness. I'm talking about letting everyone who has the ability and willingness to go to college and to go to any school they want and never worry about tuition. Not once. I swear to God we would have a superpower if we would just... Now, I'm not talking about feeding kids and putting them in college if they don't work. I'm talking about anyone willing to go to school, people who want to be doctors and lawyers or plumbers or whatever. They should have all of their education paid for. Absolutely. And that sounds like socialism, but it's not. You know what? What's amazing to me is how our government vilifies billionaires. My God, billionaires are devils, according to the Democrats in power right now. Yet they never talk about the biggest billionaires in the country, which are college endowments. Those college endowments are reaching, they're more than $1 trillion. More, way more. At 1% interest, at 1%, a child would never have to pay for college the rest of their lives. Never. And the colleges would never run out of money. But you never hear Bernie Sanders talking about those billionaires, do you? Billionaires. Billionaires. They're devils, except colleges. They get to keep their money and they stroke each other with this brotherhood. And they keep people down on the farm and grant selective people scholarships to look like saints. And
Anybody
they
can get a student loan, though,
and
man.
they control
Good credit, bad credit.
Stop
it's
it.
true,
Stop.
man.
I'm talking about, Mark, come on. Jesus. I'm talking about just really, truly, if you look at the money out there that's already there, not one penny of government funds would ever have to be used again in the world. And I'm wondering why they're not attacking those billionaires. I'm just wondering. Because they want to tax billionaires to death. Why not? Why not have tuition for people who deserve it? We got more coming up.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Ben Ferguson Podcast.
A couple scrapes and bruises on the roads and freeways this morning, starting on the northwest end of town near Broomfield. US 36 westbound at Flatiron Circle is still blocked due to a rolled over semi. If you're trying to get around the crash, detour to Wadsworth and then take McCaslin back to US 36. Through downtown, Colfax eastbound at Osage. Looks like we've got an accident with nearly stopped traffic back from I-25. And west from there, 6th Avenue eastbound at Fulton Street. News of a new accident. No word on lane blockage. Fox 31, Pinpoint Weather, partly cloudy skies today with a high of 81 degrees. The current temperature in Denver is 77. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Coming up on the Ben Ferguson Podcast, you may be a domestic terrorist and not even know it, all because you question the integrity of the Department of Justice and the FBI. That's now what they're calling you, a domestic terrorist. Why? I'll explain it. Download the Ben Ferguson Podcast now.
Equal opportunity. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank Duran will show you by performance and statistics what he can do for you. Not gimmicks, not let the seller this, the buyer pay this, and you do this, and I do this, and I guarantee this, and you guarantee that, and then I give you the difference, and then you rub my back, and then I scratch your ass. None of that. Frank simply performs. He sells for more money and faster, and he has stats to prove it. That's it. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Now, let's talk about reverse loans, because they are something that are helping, that they're helping a lot of people. They go down to age 55 now, and if you have a massive amount of equity, no matter what the interest rate is, it's not going to affect you at all, because it accrues against your house, and you'll never owe more than your house, and most of the time your house will out-appraise a loan, but it helps you stay in your house. You're relieved from payments. You're relieved from all those obligations except insurance and taxes. And some people get to stay in their house where they would have to sell and move into assisted living. EmpowerReverse.com can answer your questions. Empower Reverse. Call the helpline set up just to answer your questions. 720-500-7719. 720-500-7719. EmpowerReverse.com.
Everyone is talking about one big thing in politics. Is Donald Trump running again? And then they want to know if he can really win.
Oh, okay. Well, he would be the one to talk to us. The rising cable news channel, millions are watching. Yep, hang on. Has a new book.
What company is that? Let me look at their listing. What is the company name? Colorado Painting Company, and they're on our referral list.
Good habits.
And then, but when you go to their listing, it puts you in touch with us?
It's about rewarding people who have ability. If you have ability, you should not be held back. Not one bit.
Nope, I totally agree.
Oh, I see.
Not one bit.
Their phone number's at the top of their listing, and I think when you scroll down, you see us for our website. So let me give you their phone number. It's 720-319, hang on, 8992. Do you mind holding for me so I can just try it real quick? Thank you so much. Hang on. Hey, what's up, Talib? Hello?
You're going to be on KNUS.
You are?
You are.
Oh, okay. Did you just take
Hang
the
on.
spot you had? Do I need to send you
No, I took, yeah.
This isn't Colorado Painting Company?
Are you doing Peter's
Okay,
show?
thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Is it going to be a live show?
What's up, Talib? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we saw that, Talib. Anything else? I don't mean to be short. I've just got like 3 things going right now. Okay, I'll tell Mark. Alrighty. Thank ya. Bye.
.630 KHAL, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Let's Skip. Go ahead, Skip. What's going on? Give us a call if you have a problem, question, or complaint. Skip, hi. What's happening?
Hi, Tom. In January this year, I signed up for a subscription to a franchise called Restore Hyper Wellness.
It's a franchise, sir?
Yeah. So they're independently owned, is the way I understand it. And you go in and they have...
Well, okay. You signed up with them. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're not a franchisee, right? You just went as a customer.
Correct.
Okay, and what is this? Tell us what this Restore Hyper Wellness is. What is it?
Well, they have services like this cryogenic machine, and then on the opposite side they have a sauna, and then they have like therapeutics, IV drips, and then they have these things that squeeze you with, I don't know, you put these things on your legs and arms and it squeezes you. And so I thought it was kind of a cool idea, and they had this trial membership, and we signed up for it, but their scheduling was very difficult. You couldn't get in and actually use the service because they were booked out. So they were like oversubscribed.
Oh, okay.
And so I said, I don't think this is working. We'd like to cancel.
How much was the membership? How much was the membership?
$119 per month each. So I signed up for two, for me and my girlfriend.
Okay, and was it a 1-year commitment?
They let us get out, so I don't think there was a 1-year commitment.
All right.
There was like a 60-day or something.
All right, just hold on. Just hold on, and we will talk about this coming up. All right? And get your calls in, people, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I'm Tom Martino. We're trying to solve problems. We're trying to answer questions, take complaints, and we're trying to make your life just a little easier.
Dragons.
Thank you. Good grief.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good grief, what?
Slow day with phone calls.
What's that, Doc?
I said slow day with phone calls.
Well, when we talk fucking politics, I don't know what we expect. You know what I mean?
Yep. I think there's something to that.
Oh, I know.
Mark, it has nothing to do with that at all. Nothing.
I don't know if he can hear you.
It has nothing to, well, it has nothing to do with it.
What's shaking, bacon?
I said it has nothing to do with it, talking politics, nothing.
You don't think so?
No, not at all, because for 40 years I've watched full lines, I've watched them dwindle because of other media, and I'm telling you, some days we're slammed, and some days we're not.
I know. Trust me, I know.
And it doesn't matter what we're discussing, just some days, actually most days, we have a pretty damn good volume, and then some days we don't. And if I could figure it out, I would, I don't know, it just has nothing to do with it. If it starts out that way, it's before we even talked about anything.
I think everybody, majority of your listeners agree with you anyway.
We got a lot of, it's your average talk radio. It's mostly right. There's no doubt about it. Think of the station, Paul. The entire station is right talk shows.
Well, and everybody
very conservative, right?
Well, yeah, I think successful radio.
We don't have sports shows.
KOA.
Oh, on KOA. I'm talking this station.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the sports. I don't think the sports shows are doing any better. KOA's not what they used to be, ratings wise. I think a show like this with engagement.
Yeah, but they brought in, to KOA's defense, they brought in a new program director, and I think we'll see some stuff change. I think just the industry is just completely changed. Everything's on demand. If you look at our numbers for podcasts, they're fucking unbelievable across the country. And it's because people listen when they want to fucking listen, where they want to listen. They don't have to listen live.
That's it. That's absolutely correct. I agree with you. It's on demand. It's like binge watching. If I can't binge watch something, I'm not going to, I'll wait.
Oh, you're like Tom. He won't watch something until like a season's done.
Yep.
I watched that Game of Thrones last night. I'll watch it. I'll look forward to it every Sunday.
Oh, you mean a new?
Hey, was the first one good?
Yeah, but you gotta like Game of Thrones. You don't, man. It's about dragon people.
Yeah, I'm with him.
It's fucking good, man. It's great. And I always wondered how she came in power. Now I'm seeing exactly what happened. And I love the blood and the gore. I love it.
No, I like that kind of stuff, but I just... I don't know.
It's weird because you like that British shit, which is a timepiece, so you like some timepieces, but you don't like other timepieces. Where I hate that
You know
British
what,
shit.
Mark, I tried twice, watching. They say, keep watching, it gets better, like first, second, third, fourth. I got up to four episodes in the first season. But you know what I found weird? And normally I can follow this shit, but all of these different houses or different...
Wait till you got into the third, fourth, fifth, and then you find more. Then all of a sudden winter starts coming, and you got the abominable snowmen.
All of the clans and shit, just, I don't know.
I love
I'm with you, Tom. I think it's too hard to believe.
I could see the quality, I could see it, and I could see the good writing, but the story was just too entangled for me right now. I wanted to be more entertained.
We binged the whole fucking series in probably, oh my God, I'd say 6 months. Maybe, and you're talking,
I'll go back and try again. I'll go back and try again. I mean, I remember one, like if I remember rightly, this one guy walked up and threw a kid out of a window.
Yep, that's probably the first episode.
And I couldn't believe it.
That's a shock factor.
No, I love shit like that, man. I think people could write way better psychological thrillers than they do now. I do not think Hollywood is doing us justice. You could write a movie right now that would blow anybody fucking away, but no one's doing it. I mean, it could make like Saw look like nothing.
Do you think it has anything to do with this whole woke culture, Mark?
It would be rated X and not for sex. It would simply, I don't even know what rating you could give some of this shit, but I am so shocked people haven't done just full shockers, man.
Have you watched The Night Listener with Robin Williams?
No.
That's a good one.
I love Robin Williams.
The Night Listener with
Hey,
Robin Williams.
Doc?
Yeah.
Please stop turning on your microphone.
Oh, yeah, don't.
Microphone on, FCC fines and firings. Microphone off, go nuts.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Did you catch anything? Nothing went
No, I
on,
didn't say anything bad. I know what he's saying, though.
No, I kept watching. Every time he'd turn it on, I think, God, I wish that was hooked to a car battery.
But I didn't say anything that was bad.
No, that's why I kept turning it off.
Right, okay.
Yep.
But nothing is right about it. The website isn't theirs, the phone number's a whole different company. I mean, it needs to be killed immediately, but it does make me wonder if...
Whose was it?
Yours.
Oh, wow. Makes you wonder what? I love when she says...
Nothing wrong with that.
No idea what she's talking about.
Hey, Doc, is your house done yet?
December.
Man, that's taking a long time.
I got my thing today, Thomas. Our, what do you call it, appraisal.
He stepped away.
Oh. Taking a shit, is he? I call it like I see it, Paul. You know that. I don't hold back.
So, that hardness is the hardest. I have the hardest water.
Yeah, you do. Here, let me show you something real quick. Okay, we got a second. So you see that, right? So that hard water is coming out of that 1/4-inch filter down there, it oxidizes, and so real time. And then you have this.
Yeah.
That.
God almighty.
Yeah. And so, in theory, all the chlorine content could get trapped there, right?
Doc, we're looking so forward to Nashville. Rock and roll for 4 days straight. Little country, like the country. I like that old school country, don't you? You like that kind of...
I was never into country.
Never? Not even like Garth Brooks?
Hey, I'm a New Yorker. We don't do country in New York.
The biggest concert ever put on that I know of,
Central Park,
was fucking Garth Brooks in New York, Doc.
In Central Park.
The Queen concert
on 630 KHOW.
Don't let the media fool you about interest rates and the latest Fed move. Yes, home equity lines of credit have gone up. Yes, credit cards have gone up. And yes, auto loans have. But mortgage rates have gone down. That's right. Don't miss out on your chance to lock in a 30-year fixed mortgage at 4.99% with an APR of 5.17% by calling Ideal Home Loans 303-867-7000 or online at idealhomeloans.com. Equal opportunity lender regulated by DORA, NMLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45-IDEAL.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, and you can call us at any time ever, 24/7 at 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. And you can call our studio line at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We had an issue with phone lines today. I don't know if it resolved itself, but we're having a problem clearing lines. And be patient. And also, this hour brought to you by Compass Insurance Group. I want you to do an insurance checkup, 303-996-9000. It takes just a few minutes on the phone, then they call you back with results. They check with 26 companies to see that, first, that you're not underinsured, second, that you're not paying too much. And it's totally an independent survey with their companies, Compass Insurance Group. That's 303-996-9000. Now, let's go to the phones, and Skip wants to talk about this place he joined and whatever you want to talk about. I also have Paul the Waterman with us from waterpros.net. And, man, he was showing me some stuff on my faucets and stuff. You know, I have the system for the water, drinking water, in both houses, and it's delicious and wonderful. But he says my water on a scale of 1 to 10 is the hardest. And you can see, I can see where it's building up on stuff, shower heads and all those nozzles. But does it actually do any harm? I see that, but what harm is it doing, Paul? Really, what harm is hard water doing?
Well, restrict water flow, right? And eventually,
Isn't that the one thing that contributes to those pinhole leaks we hear about?
Pressure, right?
But it goes right through solder and pipe.
Exactly, and then also, the modern day appliance is not designed to operate in hard water because they were made to be water conservation.
Also, water heaters can be blown.
Absolutely.
Especially, I have a constant flow water heater, and that's expensive.
Well, they're not designed to operate in hard water. And matter of fact, if you read a lot of those warranties, they recommend soft water.
I'm gonna get a whole house. Now, when I get a whole house, I'm gonna have to beat them up a little. So I'm not gonna do it on the air. I'm just kidding. Anyway, his prices are unbelievable. Anyway, 303-713-TALK. Let's go to the phone. So, Skip, this place that you went to sounded great. They let you out. You had a trial membership. And by the way, on a side note, you mentioned they had cryogenics.
Yeah.
I tried cryogenics one time. Holy crap! I sat in there and my neck was sticking out with my head, right? And then they freeze the hell out of you.
I think it's Hong Kong phooey.
Well, I didn't feel anything, but I did it. I felt cold, but I didn't feel anything. But, and then they have other things, who knows what works and what doesn't on these things.
I go to the hormone bros.
Oh, yeah, that works. Hormone replacement works. There are a lot of things that work. Proper supplementation, good diet. I've often wondered about this, those hyperbaric chambers and also the cryogenic chambers and all of those. I've often wondered about those. Exactly what are they doing and if they have any long-term effect. But, Skip, let's get to your story. You were paying $119 a month for each person. And what happened? You got out of the trial, right?
Right, and so we went up to the desk and canceled, and the gal up front said, no problem, I'll take care of it with my manager. Well, then I noticed the next month there was a charge. And so I went back in, I said, hey, I thought we canceled this. And so that was...
Let's get right to it. How many additional months have they been charging?
They just charged it again last month.
So I thought you said they let you out.
Wow, hey, listen to this, Tom. I just got an email from this guy, Robert. He said he used the hyperbaric chamber about 2 weeks ago. I don't know anything about this, man. They depressurized the chamber too quickly and admitted they did, and he's had an ongoing ear issue ever since then.
Oh,
Beware, do not do this.
Well, hyperbaric chambers are very specific for specific problems, man. And then did you know there's an entire practice of medicine that deals with that? Oxygen medicine, I think they call it in general, which is weird. But anyway, but hyperbaric, they do have some great functions that people need. I'm not sure I would do it just for fun. Anyway, Skip, did they have a hyperbaric at Restore Hyper Wellness, or just the...
they had like a portable one, and you get in there and they blow it up, and it's hyperbaric, where they pressurize you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of sitting in this coffin thing, and they.
Okay. Did they have a sensory? Did they have a sensory deprivation tank?
No, I didn't see that.
You know, that's where they put you in a neutral density water with a heavy brine water, and then they cut out all your senses, complete darkness and sound, and it's sensory deprivation. You're supposed to be like...
Oh, I've done that. I've done that at another place.
See, you're crazy. You're crazy.
I've done that when I went scuba diving, Tom. When you go scuba diving at night, you can just lie there and float, and it's the same thing as a sensory deprivation.
It would be. It would be.
Absolutely, it's the coolest thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be good for...
Anyway, they told me they let me out, and they even promised the owner of this franchise and the manager, and we came to an agreement.
How many times? How many times have they collected from you? After quitting?
It's weird. I got it listed out, but
let me get this straight. You signed up. When did you sign up? And how long was the trial?
January.
And how long was the trial?
30 days.
Okay. So then after did you quit right after 30 days?
I believe so. I don't know the exact date, but I think it was right in February, and I joined in January.
Yeah, but here's what I'm asking. Did you read the membership? Because there's all kinds of crap they put in these memberships. Like you have a 30-day trial, but in order to cancel, you got to give them like certain days notice, or you got to give them notice on a certain day. I mean, really, did you cancel according to the contract?
You know, I'd have to read it, but they agreed in writing what they were going to do, and now they're backing it in half. And
here's what I want to know: did you pay anything for the trial at all? No, right?
Yeah, we gave them money up front.
Why?
When we signed up.
How much?
I think a month each. So then,
I'm confused. Hey, you want a 30-day trial? It's $119 each. How much is it after that? $119 each. Oh, okay, fine. I'll take the 30-day free trial. Here's my credit card. Am I getting this straight?
No, it wasn't a free trial. It was just the 30-day membership. They gave us something on top of it.
Oh, my God. So you just basically signed up.
I did, but then they said they would cancel it, and it never canceled, and now they're saying, okay, it's canceled. And she got on the phone, she goes, I'm going to enter these credits.
Okay. All right. I'm confused. Okay. So let's call them. Let's just try to sift this out. Do you have a copy of your membership at all?
I do. He just sent it to me, the regional director, this morning.
Okay, and what are they saying they want to do right now? They're going to settle with you for how much? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What did they say? We're having phone problems, by the way. So go ahead. What did they say? They've taken how many total payments from you? The first month you paid for, how many after the first month have they taken?
Said they took from January through July.
Are they going to refund any of it?
$476.
Which is half of it, right?
Which is close to half. They originally agreed last week to $1,071.
I don't know, man. You know what? I don't know if they're doing right or wrong. Here's what I think, Skip, honest to God. I don't think you know what you signed up for. I don't think you know what the cancellation policy was, and I don't think you properly. Now, you said they put it in writing. I want you to get that to us, and Deputy Doc will call them and say, I have something in writing saying he could get out and he wouldn't be charged, but I want to see it first, really. So get that for us, and I'll give it to Deputy Doc to call over there. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I have to tell you something. There are times, man, when you join stuff, and in order to quit, you got to quit at a certain time. I remember this one. Oh, my God. Mark, years ago, the hot tubs. They said, if you buy a hot tub, and then there was some kind of thing that at the end of 5 years, you contact them and get all your money back. And nobody ever contacted them the right way. It had to be on a certain day at a certain time, 5 years later, to get a full refund. So they were advertising like free hot tubs. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But I want to know what the terms and conditions are, because I'm kind of betting there's a little snag in there, and that's why now they're going to settle with you, and they think they're doing you a favor. 303-713-8255. By the way, I'm telling you, Garage Magic will do your garage floors in a beautiful way with a lifetime warranty. No employees, all highly trained employees. No subs, I meant. All employees, and then, yes, highly trained. That's GarageMagic.com. More coming up.
For a limited time, Belco is offering 2.75% APY on a 17-month CD with balances of $500 or more. You heard right, 2.75% APY. To get that higher rate, you typically get stuck in a longer term, like 24 or 36 months. To open your CD, stop by any Belco branch. To learn more and schedule a branch appointment, visit belco.org/CD. Belco membership is required. Conditions and restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Belco, banking for everyone.
Let's talk about things that I love talking about, like retirement. No, really, I like talking about retirement now because I'm feeling more secure. I'm serious. You know, I put away some money. I've worked a long time, and I didn't know what to do with it. Honest to God, if I just draw it out, well, do I run out? Am I supposed to draw it down? What is it for? When do I do it? And then what do I do about insurance? What do I do about whatever when Mark runs my ass out of here? What do I do? I needed to know, so I called Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. These are great people that will work with you. They'll help you plan your retirement and tell you where you're making mistakes and how to make that money last. I'm serious. And they save you money. And they will go over everything, including what they charge, which are small fees compared to what they save you. rpcenter.com. I have a meeting with them this week, as a matter of fact. 970-663-3211. 970-663-3211. They'll come to you if you want to meet with them. Fix It 24/7. I really know George like a brother, the owner, and I know the company, and I know the culture. And they have one thing in mind: value, guarantees of satisfaction, and everything disclosed, everything up front. That means for $39 you get an expert to your home. Whether plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, drains, licensed, insured, background check, they check it out, they give you a diagnosis for $39. If you decide to get it fixed, they refund that $39 or credit it toward the job. And then, if you don't, that's all you pay. You don't do better than that. Very simple. FixMyHome.com. Fix It 24/7. 720-526-3939. I also know Buddy Mitchell. You know, when I advertise, that's Simply Floors, Inc. When I advertise for people, I really do know them. Buddy Mitchell, simplyfloorsinc.com. Better prices than even the big boxes, up to 40% in savings. They have design consultants assigned to each and every job to help you pick the right floors. And then they have better installers and better financing. Think about it. Simply Floors, Inc. That's INC. Simplyfloorsinc.com.
For a limited time, Belco is...
Right, so anyway, they did a culture, had a really bad infection, like a rare bacteria. Clean out, give me all the antibiotics. A1C 7.9. So it was the infection. that was like there for years.
7.9 is a little high.
Still a little high, still, but I think it's
Do you take any drugs?
No. I took antibiotics and I was on.
Did you take anything for your A1C?
Yeah, I did.
Did you take metformin?
No, that stuff killed me. I couldn't take it.
Why?
Because it just tore up my stomach.
Did you ease into it?
No. Yeah, I eased in progressively. Yeah, even a little bit. I forget what I had. I took, but it was, I took 2 tablets a day before eating, and it was perfect. And then once the infection went away, that's the biggest.
And you didn't have to have surgery?
I did. I had that. My surgery went 2 hours longer than expected because of all the infection.
Pulled it all out?
Pulled it all out, yeah. Yeah, I was having pneumonia, issues with chronic pneumonia, bacterial pneumonia, because of the infection of my sinuses.
The way to increase our testosterone.
The nasal voice, maintenance body maintenance, but I just
and feel like you did years ago. Try Andro 400, the safe, effective, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Andro400.com.
Blood sugar.
We got to get out there and
your body has an effect because that's what it does.
Hit some golf balls.
It's actually,
Let's pick a day and
yeah.
go over to.
It's actually not good for you at all.
Good idea.
I had that sinus infection back in 2016, so I was dealing with it for years.
There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay for
When I was on that,
I was watching this documentary last night, UFOs.
PTSD.
It's really interesting how they have pictures of UFOs, they have all these people that have witnessed it. Yeah. But here's my question. Even the most fanatic believers in UFOs agree that there's no advanced civilization in our solar system.
Right? Chance to win $5,000 a week forever from Publishers Clearinghouse. There are just 6 left to enter. Win $5,000 a week for your luck. Then after that, someone you choose gets $5,000 a week for their luck. But you must enter at PCH.com before it's too late. Leave a legacy for your loved ones. Hurry, the time is running out. So enter now at PCH.com. $5,000 a week forever. Shelby's for a chance to win it this August 31st.
Fucking better than us.
PCH.com.
No, but even the UFO, it's not in our solar system.
Little green man.
Right, which means that it has to come from another star system, which means they have to figure out how to travel.
Our moral compass.
Or another, but
everything you're talking about has one fundamental, the hate, the anger, and the violence is because
No, it could be another
In there,
dimension.
there's 2. The one is the recycling to the right. To the left is regular.
Otherwise, it would be impossible. So
that we know
one, right? No, they have to figure out how to travel faster than light, because otherwise it would take them 100 years to get here from the closest star. So the other thing is there are multiple sightings of different kinds of saucers, which means either.
There you go, guys. Radio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk. And Jim, you want to talk about waste management, what's going on? And people just have patients calling in, and then I have an announcement about our $500 gas winners or entries. Jim, what's going on?
Okay, Tom, I signed up with Waste Management about 3 months ago to use their service. And when I signed up, they told me what the charge would be, and it came out to like $60 every 3 months. I said, that's fine. Let me just go ahead and pay that. She said, well, you're going to have a delivery and setup charge to get the dumpster from us, and you have to have that, and that's $80. I said, I don't need a dumpster. I've already got one of your dumpsters in my garage from 5 years ago. She said, okay, we'll take that off. Don't worry about it. Because when they first started using the dumpsters, if you were a customer, they gave us the dumpsters just to get everybody having one.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
And I said, okay.
I've never heard of that, by the way.
I've never heard of that either, but anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, I said, okay, let me just pay the bill. for the 3 months. And she says, "Oh, I don't take the payment here. You'll get a bill out in 2 or 3 weeks, and do it that way."
Let me ask you something, bro. Let me ask you something. This is really going to. I'm just curious. You had an old waste management dumpster in your garage.
Right.
How many yards? How big are we talking? Like a restaurant one?
No, just a regular residential waste management dumpster.
And why was it just? How did you acquire it?
Okay, years ago, and I'm not sure how many years ago, when they really started pushing dumpsters out, if you signed up with them, they gave you a dumpster. And then when I quit with them, they never said anything about getting it back or anything, so it's been sitting in my garage.
And
anyway, that's not.
I can read the writing on this, but keep your story going.
Yeah, keep your story going. So you only needed their service for how long?
No, I was going to sign up for their service and just continue with it. But I signed up. She says, "You pay for the first 3 months." I said, "Okay, fine." And then she says, "Well, the first month, all you're going to pay is a prorated for the first month when you get your first bill.
Okay.
So that'll be about $15. I said, "Okay." I got the bill, $153. I said, "What is this?" "Well, we have a delivery and setup fee." I said, "No, you waived that because you didn't deliver and set up anything." "Well, we have a $53 fuel charge. So instead of me paying $18, I got a bill for $153.
Okay, I get it.
But
I thought you said you had to pay 3 months in advance.
Well, I offered to pay 3 months. She said it was a 3-month rate. It's $20 a month. If you're doing it, you pay it every 3 months.
Okay, did they take off the delivery and set? Did they take off the delivery and setup?
No. Well, she told me on the phone that they were going to when I signed up.
But they did not remove. When you complained, they did not remove it.
Right. Well, actually, she now this gets funny. She complained. She says, "Then you still have one of our dumpsters." I said,
okay.
"Yeah."
Do you remember what Mark just said? Do you remember what Mark just said? He said, "I can see the handwriting on the wall." And I was asking you about the dumpster because I'm going to tell you something, Jim. Theoretically, you got a problem because you had their dumpster for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'll guarantee you, you say they never said anything about coming and getting it. I'll bet you they never said anything about you putting it in your garage and keeping it either.
Right. Anyway, here's what happened with it. Is I said, "Okay, you're not doing any delivery and setup." I said, "You know what? Just cancel me." She finally says, "All right, I'm just going to cancel you. Forget the whole thing. You're going to get billed for the couple of days or 2 pickups they had done."
Got it.
Great, that's fine. Okay, never got a bill for that until this new bill started coming. I got a bill this morning again for $151.
And what's that for?
When I told you're going to enjoy this. Meantime, when I canceled them, I got one of these hangers on my door from a company called Waste Services of Colorado. $18.50 a month, guaranteed, no extra fees, flat rate, includes a cart. So I called up. And the lady was real nice about it. This is the way it works. I said, "Extra charges." And no. I said, "Okay, fine. I paid for it for 3 months." I'm happy with them. I didn't get my trash picked up the second or third week, so I called in. She says, "Oh, we don't have trucks. Waste Management does all our pickups. All we are is a broker. So if you call Waste Management, you pay an extra pickup and delivery charge. If you call these guys, it's Waste Management broker, and you pay no extra charge."
That's good to know. That's good to know. But Jim, where are we going with this? They charged you the full amount, even though you stopped the service. So they were not picking up the dumpster after that, right?
Right. I finally I told them, I said, "If you want your dumpster, it's going to be out by the curb. Please pick it up." And somebody did come by and pick it up.
Okay. How many months total did you have it activated?
I had them activated for about 2 weeks.
And then you canceled, and you got the 150. Did you pay the first bill of 153?
No.
Okay. I got it. So when you say you were billed again 153, it's the same 153.
Yeah, well, I got one last month. It had come down to 132, and then I got one this morning. It's back up to 150.
But I don't understand what. But it's all from the same one. In other words, they're not adding 150 like it was 150 the first time. Then they added another 150. Then they added 130. Is that what they're doing?
Right. No. The bill just came as 130 last month. I said, all right,
This is the most long-winded story I think I've ever heard.
Here's what it is, Jim.
He is
in a
weaving
nutshell.
a hell of a tale.
Yeah, Jim. How much do they? It's 130. I think that you're going to owe them something because you signed up, and you have to pay at least for the month, right? And you said and you don't want to pay delivery. You don't want to pay delivery and setup, right? You don't want to pay that.
Delivery setup, and $52 fuel charge.
Yeah,
Nobody ever mentioned that. That just appeared on the bill.
They probably should have mentioned it. They're going to say they did. What do you want right now, Jim? You're not going to have it free. What do you want?
I want to pay them for what they did. 2 or 3 weeks to pick up my garbage. If it's $20 for that first month, fine. That's what they gave me.
And then you should send them. Hold on. Here's what you should do. You should write on the bill what you're disputing and send the payment that you agree to.
And shouldn't the fuel charge be prorated as well?
Well, the fuel charge is, I don't know. Why should it be prorated? It was a one-time charge up front. Here's what I'm thinking. They really should have mentioned the fuel surcharge. I mean, I do agree with that. Jim, if you want, I think there's a little right and wrong going around here because they could back charge you for that dumpster and you'd be in big, big trouble. And they would win. I don't care what you say. You had their property for that long. Of course, they'd have to go back and prove the original contract. It might be more of a pain in the ass. But what I'm saying to you is, Jim, if you want us to call, we'll give it to Deputy Smarty Pants to call over there and try to sift through it and say, look, he wants to settle for this much money. Will you do it? And he's pretty good at negotiating. If you don't want to do it, that's fine too. But all I'm saying is, I get why you're upset. I absolutely get it. I don't think the setup and delivery charge, I mean, that's kind of weird. Who pulled it out of your garage and set it up?
I did. I set it up on the curb to use.
Okay.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. I took it to the curb and had them pick it up, and then the other company delivered one of their exact same things to me a couple days later.
Are you still using that other company?
Yeah, the other company's great. They pick up when they said they're $18.50 a month and no extra charges. But for your sake, tell your customers, instead of calling Waste Management direct, if you call these guys, they don't charge anything extra. They charge what they say.
Okay, and who are these guys? Who are these guys?
It's called Waste Services of Colorado.
Okay. So you're saying if you go to Waste Services of Colorado, you're going to save money and get the same exact service. I got it. We got to take a break. 303-713-TALK. RealCBDThatWorks.com for pain, inflammation, and anxiety. 30% off with Tom and the promo code RealCBDThatWorks.com.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW. An iHeartRadio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts. All in one. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
Good news over on the northwest end of town near Broomfield. US 36 westbound is reopened at Flatiron Circle after a recent accident involving a rolled over semi has been all cleaned up. Traffic is back to normal up around that area. And heading into downtown, I-25 north and southbound showing posted speeds before we hit those noon hours. Just northwest of there, I-76 eastbound between Sheridan and Tennyson, stop and go traffic through road construction. Fox 31, Pinpoint Weather. Partly cloudy today and warm with a high of 84 degrees. Thunderstorms rolling in tonight with an overnight low of 59. The current temperature in Denver is 76 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
We could talk about how complicated other banks make it to redeem credit card rewards. Or we could talk about how with Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Talk about amazing. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
You know, I love Excel Roofing because I know that they have satisfied more than 32,000 customers in a way that I would run a business. No money up front ever. You don't pay a cent until you're content. They never make you sign a contract before you're good and ready. They inspect your roof free of charge. They don't hold you to a contract if you change your mind, and they don't penalize you for changing your mind. Excel Roofing, the way roofing ought to be, and Jay Brett's a personal friend. I can tell you that Excel will take care of you. They also have a repair and patch department, and for the older and disabled, they will do free gutter cleanings. You can't beat excelroofing.com, 303-761-6400. They also understand the complete roofing system. They can do an attic fan, which helps keep your roof warmer and cooler, depending on the season, 303-761-6400. So, you want to buy a home and you want a leg up? Well, you can go to Affordable Interest Mortgage and you can get the liquid loan. Okay, do you know what that is? It's a line of credit. Now, this line of credit is simple interest. So you buy the home, right? And you just pay simple interest. If you're only going to be there a few years, simple interest. Why pay principal? And the simple interest is cheaper. Plus, it's offset by every penny you have in the bank. Literally. So the money you have in the bank is earning the same amount of interest, offsetting your home interest. No bank accounts pay that. And then get this. In addition to that, if you change your mind, you can make a lump sum on the principal anytime you want. And then if you change your mind again, you can borrow it back. That's why we call it theliquidloan.com. 720-895-0500. 720-895-0500. Theliquidloan.com.
Innomax knows you work
light years away, wouldn't know we exist.
But once again, if they even have anything to do with the radio signal.
No, but they might not be communicating with radio signals, but they would be smart enough to pick up our radio signals.
But why? Why? We're not smart enough to pick up. We didn't even know how a dolphin fucking communicated up till about 30 years ago.
No, but we knew that their clicks meant something.
Well, yeah. Well, eventually. That's my whole point.
But we knew that they were clicking, right?
Well, let's go past the dog.
Okay.
I'm saying there's other things that communicate all the time that we still discover. Holy shit, this is how these guys are.
Right. But my point, if these guys are smart enough to do that, they would know that our radio signals were outside of the civilization.
Scott's going to
It can be a little hard to find, but I promise
I would think they would be able to
I can't argue that my point is they could be smart.
Everyone is talking about one.
Because they're just beings.
Okay, they are still going.
I know you are, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't give a shit.
I agree.
Okay, Jim, 720-296-3089. Heads up on Smarty Marty. His area code does come in as 954, okay? I don't want you to see a 954 number come in and think that you're getting a spam call, okay?
I think there's life on it.
He'll be calling you shortly, okay, to get working on your problem. Okay, bye-bye.
I hate even using progressive. Yeah, advanced to a degree, but they could be so different from us. Their advancement means nothing to us.
Right.
They might have tapped into.
So, you know,
shit we can't even
right?
Think about it.
So, in theory, everything that's in our water that freezes, right,
100,000 years ago,
is all coming out of
where we are now. Think of what a civilization would be like, who had 1,000 years.
Oh, it'd be unbelievable.
Right.
Because we get quicker as we get quicker.
Right?
Yeah.
Get an old ice
Okay,
cube
think
tray,
of where we're going to be in 1,000
freeze it,
years
and
if
then
we're
see
still
what the
alive.
difference is.
We haven't killed
Is that
us.
why my ice cube sticks
I think
together?
like if you
I'm telling you, it's all that
got
stuff that
inserted into a dog's
oxidizes,
brain.
and then as it precipitates
Like you can
out,
take
it
over
sits there. That's just hard water.
You're no longer you, but you still have the perception when the experiment's over of what happened. I don't think you would have any idea.
Too bad your basement's completely unfinished.
Like you would be in there and nothing seems anything. It would be unlike anything you've ever done. It's not what you think a dog's think.
Right.
It would be that different to where you wouldn't, when you came out of it, and if you could look back on it, you would have no fucking clue.
I agree.
But then I go to the next step and say, if you went into my head or another human's head, because I saw a smart-ass reaction come there. If you went into my head, it could be, even though we're both humans, it could be so fundamentally different. So that's where I get into that.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think you think our perception of the world, for that matter, and I'm not talking politics and shit, but you know, human perspective is all the same.
Yes.
I don't know about that. It could be. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you and I see the same things. We just interpret them differently.
On the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk to Richard. Richard, hi. How are you doing, sir? How can we help you?
Hi, Tom. I have a question. My kid was involved in an accident on this weekend. He got rear-ended after something in front of him stopped.
Now, hold on. Hold on, man. Your phone cut out a little. You were involved in the accident?
No, my son.
All right. Got it. Okay. And what happened? Somebody rear-ended him?
Yeah, so somebody in front of him stopped, so he slowed down. The car behind him hit him on the corner.
Got it.
So the police gave him a report and said he was at fault. But my kid has liability insurance, so I want to know what we can do, or is there anything that we can try?
Okay.
To get my kid's car fixed?
Okay. Is it the other party's fault? For sure.
No, the cop said it was nobody's fault. That was kind of like...
Okay, I'm sorry. I think in a rear end, okay. Well, okay, this is what I would do if it was my son. I would take the driver of the car that hit me to small claims court for the damage. How much damage?
It might be total because it looks like the frame is bent. The whole hitch pushed underneath the...
What's the car worth?
The side. Probably like $6,000. So
that's right. Okay, you have up to $7,500 in small claims court. Mark, wouldn't you do that if you were hit?
Yes, I would, sir.
Because the police...
But the report, that he put was nobody at fault. I thought,
well, hold on. You don't have to introduce that report. I mean, the defendant might, but you don't have to. Listen, even though the police say there's no one at fault, did the police actually say no one was at fault? Then why did it happen? I'm asking, what did the police officer say in the report? Why did it happen?
He just said he had to stop, so the department couldn't stop fast enough. So that was just the way it worked out on the report. I mean, just that nobody could stop, so nobody was at fault.
Wait. Hold on. Somebody in front of your son stopped quickly?
Yeah, and they took off. So, of course, they didn't stop because they just slowed down. And my kid had to slow down. But when he slowed down, the car behind him rear-ended him.
Well, then he was following too closely, man.
See, that's what I thought, but I just wanted to make sure I asked you first before we tried.
I would for sure. I wouldn't think twice about suing that kid small claims. Tell me about the driver of the other car.
It was teenagers, like 4 teenagers together in their dad's car, I guess. So his car had to be put away, and ours was able to drive home, but it has problems now with the 4-wheel drive lights and everything coming on.
Oh, you should have never drove it from the scene.
Well, I don't know if that matters, Mark. They can get that assessed. I don't know.
These kind of things can get real expensive real fast.
That's what I was wondering about. See, that's what I said.
Well, it's not going to get expensive in small claims court.
No, I'm talking about his car. Now, with all the issues, it could be well over $7,500.
I thought he said the whole car's just worth $6,000.
Yeah, it's worth about $6,000. It's a Buick Rainier.
Oh, well, then that's it. Then small claims is your venue. That's it, man.
I would do that.
Well, cool. Thank you. I appreciate the info.
All right, man. Okay. 303-713-TALK, 713.
Tom, real quick, what kills me when we give that advice out, like 1 out of 10 take it, but they'd win. They'd literally solve their own problem, but
Mark, how many of you done so far?
I'm embarrassed to say I served a company Friday.
No, but how many in total?
30, easily 30.
And you've won every one of them?
Yeah, well, they all settle before we even get there, so there is no winner or losers, but I get paid what I'm asking for. I just finally got fed up with it. This last one, we haven't settled or even talked yet, so I don't mind saying what it is. God, I'm getting them mixed up now. Oh, it was Hyundai. Hyundai made me pay for TPMS sensor that was in one of my tires on a vehicle that is fully under manufacturer's warranty that I bought brand new. They said there's no way. They said it was physically broke. Well, that's fine. They're the original tires. The tires have never been off. How would I possibly have any way of breaking a sensor inside of a tire? And the tire never even lost air. So I just, you know what, I got sick of just arguing with companies when I know they're just putting up these brick walls and most people won't climb them. So I just sue them. It's $55 and not one time have I not been paid.
This is good. Let's follow this one along. Jeremy, your mom hacked your account. Is that true?
Yeah.
What do you mean
her account?
Wait, tell me what's going on. Go ahead.
Okay, so originally the account was mine, and I wanted to get my mom a phone, so we came to Xfinity, and my credit wasn't good enough to put both phone lines in my name. So they said we could put it in my mom's name because her credit was good. So we put it in there. They said we could switch it back. So that's what I did. 2 months ago, I switched the account back into my name. I had been paying on it and everything like that. And my mom decides to throw me out for Friday, and she wouldn't give me my stuff back. And I have a little box that I watch TV on at home. It's like a tablet, and it has all my codes on there. It has my bank account codes. It has the Xfinity codes. It has everything. My Google. Whoever's staying with her, whoever she has over there, they hacked the account.
All right, hold on a sec, Jeremy.
Take me off.
Jeremy, I need to know more about this. So hold on, man. This is important. It's unfortunate it happened with your mom, but I need to know more about how the transfers took place. Okay, hold on. I'm Tom Martino.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Truth with Lisa Booth podcast.
Busy driving throughout the Denver Metro as we hit that noon hour. I-25 north and southbound still showing posted speeds into and out of downtown. Up on the northwest and I-76 eastbound between Sheridan and Lowell Boulevard, stop and go traffic through construction work. And off highway at Colfax Avenue eastbound at Osage, we've got an accident involving an injury with stop and go traffic back from I-25. Fox 31, Pinpoint Weather. Partly cloudy skies today, but warm out there with a high of 84 degrees. Overnight low of 59 degrees with a chance of thunderstorms throughout the night, and the sun returns tomorrow. The current temperature in Denver is 79. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
What does Monica Crowley think about the FBI raiding Trump? We're going to get Monica Crowley's take on The Truth with Lisa Booth, and make sure to listen to The Truth with Lisa Booth every Monday and Thursday and throughout the week on the iHeartRadio app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
What I'm tired of hearing are these people that do commercials saying, so-and-so got me $1,000 million or whatever. By the way, 1,000 million is a billion. Or somebody got me this much money. You know, because here's what happens. These big personal injury mills crank people out. That's right. They just pull them in. It's a lead aggregator. They pick the best cases, the lay-down cases, then brag about them. Most likely, you're going to be a number with them. And I'm telling you that because it's a fact of life. When you have 60 attorneys, it's pretty difficult to give individual attention. John Fuller is the sole practitioner with legal help, of course, in his office, but he takes each and every case, small, medium, and large, smaller by design, personalized attention, and the communication you need. You even get his cell phone number. And I'm going to challenge you to do this. If you're injured in an accident, go to myaccidentlawyer.co, then call them and see the difference. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. Yeah, put him on the list. You can call others, but call him, and you'll notice the difference, especially if you call him first. 303-597-4500. Ideal Home Loans is making you a cash buyer. Now, by the way, I talk about the cash buyer program because it's really phenomenal. If you apply to them for a loan, they'll put in a cash offer in your name if you find a house right away. And they'll back it up. No contingencies on your loan. They'll take the risk for you. And your contract goes to the top. They also do refinancing of all kinds. Go see them. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
The Oak Ridge Boys.
You got iced tea. Hey, Tom.
Yes.
So we have Hannah in, and I want you to deep dive into this.
This is great.
She does want to talk about, in a way, her.
Are we going to show her?
Yeah. Well, hopefully Talib is going to show her, but we'll see.
No, I see. She's there. Hi, Hannah.
Oh, put your headphones on, Hannah. So, Tom.
Hello, Hannah. How are you?
Can you hear? Okay,
Hannah?
let's talk.
Can we talk about everything without using last names and stuff?
Nope, don't hit that button. Not right now. When we go back on air, you hit it.
Mark.
Hold it, bring it closer.
Hannah, tell me what we can talk about.
And Tom, I already went through it. She's good with anything.
Okay, thanks.
Move it towards you. Just grab it and move it. So you don't have to
It's pretty incredible. You know what she told me while we were discussing that is, growing up where she grew up, there was quite a few other people she's met in the same boat, which is really hard for most of us to believe.
Was that a neighborhood thing or what?
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
No, so when you grow up and you don't have anything, you start trying to find jobs that are under the table, and that's where you meet other people like you.
Oh, I get it.
I knew a guy who was a year younger than me, and he had 6 siblings, and 3 of them didn't have anything at all.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So there's a lot of undocumented, if you will, Americans for that.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
And the system is just...
I'm going to start this, Mark, in the next hour, I think.
I think we need to, for sure.
Because I want to really give it time.
No, I think this is going to be really good. Talib, make sure we stay where you're at right there, but bring Tom up.
Yeah, but I want you to, you know a lot about this too, Mark. So
No, I know, but he's going to have to be on it. I think he's got a doctor's
He can switch
appointment.
back and forth. I want to keep her, ideally with where she's sitting, she should be on the right, but I don't care.
I think here, Talib's got to leave, so Talib, I want you to park it on her and Tom, not me and her. Got it? So hopefully he's listening. If not, I'll go in there and move it. He's not going to be able to bounce back and forth, so I want to do it that way. This will be far-reaching. And you live up by the casinos in, not up here on Blackhawk, but in Cripple Creek.
Mm-hmm.
And everything worked out with the house, right? I mean, cool. That is so good.
Cripple Creek.
Where's Cripple Creek?
It's on Teletowny, just...
All right.
At Metamucil.com today.
630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. All right, let's talk about this infinity thing here. Jeremy, I want to go back to when you had an account, okay?
Uh-huh.
How long did you have an Xfinity account?
Since last year. It's been like, actually it's been longer than that, probably about 2 years.
You opened the account in your name?
Yeah.
And what did you use the account for?
My phone, and I had internet.
So you used it for your phone or your cell phone?
My cell phone. But I
your
did the
cell
bundle,
phone
so I had,
and
like, the
and you
phone.
also had broadband.
But then didn't all of this get put under his mother's account?
But hold on. I want to take it one step at a time. So the account that you had for your cell and your broadband, when you said you had all of your information on there, do you mean on your email?
Yeah, it was because I had it was like a tablet that I left at my mom's that she wouldn't give me. And
Okay, and on that tablet, let me ask you something. What kind of tablet was it?
It's called a Cozy Coast. It's a TV box.
Okay, got it. And that tablet, did you keep your banking and all that information on that tablet or on your email?
It was on my email. She hacked my email.
Okay, got it. So and all of it was accessible through the box.
Yeah. They broke into it Tuesday night.
I get it. Hold on a second. Now, this Infinity box that you're talking about, did it require... Hold on a sec, bro. Bro, just let me ask questions. Did it require a password?
I didn't put one on there because it was in my room. I didn't think my mom would do something like this.
Okay, I got it. Now, it really doesn't matter whose name the Xfinity account is in. It doesn't matter. What matters is her getting into your personal email, because that's where the infringement is. But I want to know, is your cell phone still working?
No, what I had to do is I came to the Xfinity store because yesterday I had reported the account hacked, and they said everything was fine, that she wouldn't be able to get into it, that she wouldn't be able to change anything. So today she shut my phone off, so I come into the store. Now they're telling me that they don't have no information on my account.
Wait a minute.
And I paid the bill. I paid an extra $150, so I had a credit of $150 on my account. I got all the stuff to set up my service at home. I didn't set it up though because I was waiting to fix the account, and now they're saying that they can't find nothing. I talked to the security people and.
Wait a minute. They have no record. Hold on. They have no record of you having an account ever?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right, man. I don't understand how that happened. There's no record of your account anywhere. You gave them your name. Now, if you try to log in,
they don't even know. They don't even know I have the stuff. They don't even know I have the stuff at home.
It was probably under his mom's name or someone the whole time.
No, he
wasn't. I got proof.
Jeremy.
I got pictures and everything.
Jeremy.
Oh, yeah.
But no one's coming after you for pay. Listen, no one's coming after you for payment either, right?
Well, see, yeah, they are. Yeah, I have to pay for everything. They want me to pay again.
But you just said there was no account.
Jeremy, how can they come after you for payment if you do not have an account?
Well, no, what they want me to do is because when I want to open up another, I want to open up.
Okay, I got it. They want you to open a new account and pay for everything again, and you had a $150 credit, and you shouldn't have to pay for it. I get it. Let me ask you this. Can you go to a computer and log into your email still, or did she change your password?
I got into my email finally last night, but see, this is where it gets complicated. So my ex, right? In January, she said that I pointed my gun at her and I threatened to kill her. Well,
hold on a second, man. Just hold on. We got to come back to this. This is getting juicy. I'm Tom Martino. Let's find out what the heck's going on with Jeremy and his problems. You can call us at 303-713-TALK.
Introducing Mountain High.
All right, we're off, guys. Gosh.
No, the rest of the story comes out, huh?
How's your brother? You talking to him at all?
Facing a job loss?
No.
Considering a pension buyout?
No, I just,
What if you do with your 401k?
I started talking to the littlest one of us, Taylor, last week.
Hey, set that. You see where I wanted the camera. Did you hear me? I don't know. I don't know how long the delay it is. That's how I want it, if that's it, yes. Yep.
I'm afraid to do that. Yeah, because I was a sound dog back in residence. It was, they would give
I'll turn the playlist on.
Right before you got here. What a pain in the ass they are. First of all, somebody cruel designed them, because you never know which one.
Yeah, they'll be
and you walk around and you wait.
Dad.
And then you run to the other one and wait for the shirt. Did you ever do that? The bastards.
Yo.
Hey, man. It was
Right.
easiest money I ever made.
It sure was fun hanging with you guys, Freddie. I missed it. I left there all bummed out. But God, we don't do that enough.
It's like me when I go take a UA. You catch me?
Gas stations, all that fun stuff.
So I just got this tattoo.
Eating the whole chicken with potatoes, sprouts, man. Really done.
That's cool.
Pretty
cool.
All right.
It's a fucking book, bro.
No, it's a bucket of goo.
Yeah. That first call came in when my brother's.
Think about your favorite food.
Fuck, and then to find out there's 4 of them that have no birth certificate. No, nothing.
Get this lady's name.
And then the parents were I think the parents were having them all work, so they had I mean, I think it's pretty bad, honestly.
To the funnel into the amount of liquid saliva.
I'm
still
okay.
lying. So right here.
I work with all three.
Okay, so I'll leave you that. Let me know when you're done, and then I'll package it up for you.
It's like
You like it, or
it's
like
almost like
case.
it's
I got a case out of Adams County that I'm fighting. It's a stupid charge with a monitor. They don't have nothing on me, so they coming out because I'm a 5-time felon. I got us the place. We were homeless, and because of her situation, she can't get a job. They keep denying her, and I finally got my boss to get on board. So in the loophole and all that is they have a process.
Who's talking?
She can get that process. The paper.
Do we have somebody else there in the studio?
Or stating that she's in the process.
It's Hannah's boyfriend, or husband, I should say.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure it's not the other kid.
Is it Drosky Ralph?
A lot of stuff.
Johnny Nolan's, Wildwood, and Colorado. I work.
Tom, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, there's
yes.
Bronco
Okay,
Billy.
so Hannah, my girl here with no birth certificate, that's her. Oh, she calls him her husband. They live together.
That's going to be a hotel. That's Bronco Billy.
But they're not technically married because she doesn't have an ID. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot of politics.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of high school bullshit. A lot of girl.
You're still working on it?
I'm there to work. I'm not there. I work 7 days a week. I barely get 4
Then you gotta
hours. She's comfortable. I've been going to the casino gaming board. All of them. I've been talking to all of them. I've been making my connections to get her what she needs. And it's important. And
We should have a bunch of paperwork back this week.
Oh, all it's got to say is in process.
From Texas.
Yeah, they said in order for her to work, they need a letter from Vital Statistics, a judge to sign. If they have the Colorado State seal from the judge, she can go to work in the midst of all this process. My main manager of operations of food and beverage, because I'm a cook at Wildwood. I'm a cook at 2 different casinos, and if she were to get that, just a letterhead, just saying, and even from the lawyer, in the process, she is eligible to work. She is who she is. We're just in the process. They take that. They create an identification for her. You see what I'm saying?
What a pain in the butt, huh?
It's when I first met her,
You know what? You're pretty close.
she didn't know she tried so hard. She has paperwork upon paperwork.
Did you get her into that area, or did you meet her?
No, I got her. I met her down at working supervising 2 dog daycares.
I bet she's where all those kids have worked.
Yeah.
Which is crazy within itself.
Yeah,
Pretty good, doesn't it?
it's crazy.
I think
But
so.
she's done it. She's done it her whole life. She paid her
Set you back in there.
parents house payment. She works. She works under the table.
I know. So does her brother.
Got scared.
Yeah, it's
He still works there.
yeah, it's crazy.
He literally still works there.
got scared. You bet he got scared.
It's really abusive in a way.
It's kind of like what Art
It's not abusive like they beat the shit out of him. It's abusive like they kind of make him work for a long time and they take all the money.
Yeah, he was
It's
He was
difficult
great.
because a lot of times with kids, it's like when you deal with any form of mistreatment like that. A lot of people believe and they say money doesn't buy happiness. They look at it as a lot of people.
And then George Norrie took his place. Is he still doing it?
Who that certain individual
They
is.
still do
It's
coast to
heartbreaking,
coast?
But when that person psychologically breaks
Break out of it.
yeah, it's like with 7 Habits, right? You got to get rid of the bad intentions, those bad things, to develop
It's
your
like
own.
breaking out of the religious occult as well. I mean, it's
Yeah.
all the same mentality.
I mean, is it really?
You weren't religious at all, though, right?
My parents
Is it
are-
really what?
Isn't it really a cult? They don't believe in a form of government at all, in forms at all. And
That's what you're
they
saying, your
live
parents?
they live in exile. A lot of people. I've read stories of people who are 53 years old and they don't have anything.
There's always people living shit. There's a show where people like live in the cave and another guy lives on an island and shit.
Oh, that's
It's good, ain't it?
That's what's it? No, there's a show. They like the off grid.
Off grid.
They live off grid.
One of them lives in a treehouse.
What he's going for is A lot of times people have these kids for some reason. People do this because they're lazy, because they don't want to succeed within themselves. Opposed to what they're seeing you, of course, you got
Troubleshooter Show, what's your first name?
The fight is for you. You got to stick up for yourself.
03-761-6400.
It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Coming up on Monday, Dan is back in the saddle, recapping the weekend in Colorado politics and the very latest in the fallout from the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago. Join us at 4, right here on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, the real estate man.com. Get an analysis of your home, what it will sell for in today's market, and you will be shocked what he can show you. It's an in-depth analysis free of charge with no obligation to list. But so many people are wondering, what will my house do? Should I put it on the market? Should I wait? Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Okay, now listen. We have Paul the Waterman here at waterpros.net. Just want to mention that if you have any questions for him. And basically, you know, it's amazing to me what water systems can do for your house and how much some of these plumbing companies charge. And I just want to put out an alert right now. And I don't want to offend anyone that I work with because we have a lot of great plumbers on the referral list. But I just have to say something. Is it the Halo system?
Yes.
It just doesn't do what they say.
No, it's fake. There's no such thing as a salt-free softener.
They put this filter. Is it a filter or is it a magnet? What is it?
Well, they say it's a magnet. We just helped out a young couple today that had a Halo system. They spent over $5,000 for it, and it didn't soften the water.
It doesn't soften the water, but they say it keeps the minerals from depositing and causing harm, but it doesn't.
It doesn't. No, hardness is basically a rock, right? When it oxidizes, it
dissolves solids.
That's right. So a magnet is not going to repolarize or remineralize.
I don't understand how this. Why? And I shouldn't say get away with it because it's not like a crime, but it doesn't really do. This woman bought one for $8,000, thinking it was going to save her boiler, and her boiler screwed up, and you found all these mineral deposits.
Yeah, correct. It didn't do anything for her.
Anyway, I just wanted to mention that, and the real water softening systems, no matter how you look at it, they don't put salt in the water, but what do they use the salt for?
As a detergent. It's converted to a saline.
To clean the filters.
To clean the filter media, right.
So the misunderstanding is that salt is added to your water. It is not.
Correct. Absolutely not.
All right. Now, Jeremy, listen, man, we got to get to this problem, okay? You say your mom hacked your Xfinity account. Here's what really happened. She had access to your account. But you still, right now, though, the way it is right now today, you have access to your email. Is that right?
My email, yeah, but see, the thing is like I said, this is where it gets complicated. So I have pictures on my email of my ex, not of her, but of text messages. My ex pressed charges on me, false charges, in January. Said that I pointed my gun at her and I threatened to kill her. I had text messages that said that of her saying that she was going to threaten me and saying that she
my God, what does this have to do with his email and password?
Let him finish, Mark. He's trying to say somebody hacked it and took them out, I think. Keep going, Jeremy.
Yeah. So she said that that why did I have to piss her off, because now she had to go and file charges on me. And
but Jeremy, now I want to get to the point. Did that evidence, that's what you're talking about, you had evidence? Jeremy, just wait for me to ask a question if you want help, man. Are you saying the evidence that was in your email is now gone?
Yeah, and only that stuff, only those pictures.
Okay, who do you think took it?
I think, I'm not sure, but the way it seems like my mom set me up somehow with my ex because I think my mom believed my ex.
Okay, now, good. Now, here's what you need to do. If you have your email, did you now change your password?
Yeah.
Okay, now, you have your email. What I want to talk about, other than that evidence, the damages to you. The only damages that I hear right now, other than that evidence, keep that separately. Right now, what I hear from you is that you have your email back. The only thing you really lost was a $150 credit that you had on your account.
Yeah.
So, Jeremy, what I would do right now, that if all you lost is $150
One more thing, though. I went to jail for the thing that my ex put on me.
I know. That's separate. Hold on. Let's take one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Right now, do you have the money to get another cell phone and start an account again?
No, because I'm going paralyzed.
You're
I got
what?
health issues. You know, I'm going paralyzed. I got all these health issues. That's why I was.
What do you
saying that
mean
my
you're
mom's
going
that wasn't
paralyzed,
working.
Jeremy?
Let's hop in another bunny hole.
Jeremy, what do you mean you're going paralyzed?
The signal from my brain isn't making it to my legs very good because either from the stroke that I had or when I hurt my back a long time ago. But
Jeremy, you had a stroke?
I got so much. I had 2 blood clots in my lungs. I had a stroke.
How old are you, Jeremy?
I had a hole in 39.
Holy crap. So listen.
Like, I'm going through a lot, and I didn't need my mom to do this, you know?
I know it, Jeremy. I understand. But I don't think there's anything we can do to get those pictures back. But did they delete them or download them? What did they do? Because even in a deleted file, did they go in and empty your trash?
Yeah, and like it's like sometimes it shows up like they're there, but it's black. I can't see it. And then sometimes it don't show anything. Like from the date from July, because that's when we started dating, all the way till January.
Jeremy, are you going to trial on this case?
Yeah, I actually got to go do something today on it.
Okay, do you have a public defender?
No, that's what I got to go and get figured out.
Get a public, Jeremy, get a public defender, and then have somebody log in your email. I'm going to tell you something, Jeremy. I don't think anyone went into your email and took those pictures out because they would have changed your password or done something. I don't think so.
I did. I couldn't. I had to. It took me like 4 days to get the account back. Like I got proof. I got pictures of the account of somebody being in there. They were on there on 4 different on 4 different things. Like, cause you know, like I got my phone and
Jeremy,
they
listen,
were on there on a computer and
you called us for help, okay? You called us for help, and I don't know what to do here because you're never going to get that evidence back. But I bet you say it shows up sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. I think it's still there and you're just having problems accessing it. I really do. I think it's somewhere on your email server and all you have to do is know how to get it. If I were you, and you have no money and no income, is that right, Jeremy?
Yeah.
You have no job?
No, I'm trying to get disability now.
Where are you living right now, Jeremy?
I'm at my dad's right now.
Okay, well that's good. At least you have a place to stay. Jeremy, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, you're not going to get the $150 credit. You're not going to get any of that from your mom. You just need to move on. You need to make sure you're
like I don't understand you know, for anybody that's out there, like how could somebody go and because this could happen to anybody. So this is pretty much saying that anybody could be hacked at any time.
No, that's not right, Jeremy. Here's what I'm saying. It was your mom, and you had given her access to the account. She didn't hack anything. You both had access, and Jeremy, and she outsmarted you, and she kicked you off and turned off your cell phone because she was pissed off. I'm not saying it's right, but Jeremy, it's like with a wife, a girlfriend, a mom, a brother, a sister, if they have access to your stuff, they outsmart you. It's not a crime. There's nothing you can do about it at this point. Yeah, I'm serious,
man.
That,
they hacked? even though they hacked it?
They did not hack it. They were part of the account. At the time they supposedly hacked it,
Gmail,
does she have an email on that system, Jeremy?
No.
Does she have a cell phone on that system?
No.
Why did you transfer the Xfinity account into her name temporarily?
Because I didn't have good enough credit to get both cell phones. I was trying to help my mom out and get her
Okay,
cell
so
phone.
hold on. So your mom does have a cell phone on that account?
Oh, yeah, I thought you meant as far as on the box.
She has a cell phone. She has access to your account. She had every right to go into that account. I'm sorry that she outsmarted you. She was probably still an administrator on that account. Listen, Suze has access to my account. When you work together or live together or you have family, they have access. It's not called hacking, okay? It's called screwing your partner. That's what it's called. She and you were partners on this, and she screwed you. It's done, Jeremy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're wasting time. I'm sorry. He's never going to hear me. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Jeremy, you're not going to hear me. Your account hasn't been hacked. Your mom had access. She had a cell phone. And I don't believe anyone got into your email, okay? You're with your dad. Save up some money and try to get some help and open up another account. I don't know what else to tell you. Or buy a burner at Walmart. Okay, 303-713-8255.
Grab those running shoes on September 4th for the Broncos 7K. Broncos Country is leveling up with a video game themed race. All racers will receive a limited edition 8-bit Broncos themed t-shirt and a Broncos video game cartridge medal. Plus, you get to finish on the 50-yard line of Empower Field at Mile High. Space is limited, so register today at Broncos7k.com before it's game over.
Sheridan Auto Tech is everything you want when it comes to auto repairs and maintenance, heavy and light maintenance and repairs. His Lakewood location has an electrical department for electrical issues, and those are hard to find. And he doesn't hunt and peck and charge you for it. You got to check that out. On Colfax in Lakewood, just west of Wadsworth. He also has a location in Aurora on Havana, just south of 6th Avenue. They have longevity, honesty, experience, knowledge, convenience, and value. 303-455-7242, SheridanAutotech.com. I'm going to tell you about the Liquid Loan, which is a 30-year line of credit, simple interest only. You get to choose when to pay principal whenever you want. If you have extra credit or extra equity, you can borrow more money than your original principal. And then you can pay it back down. It becomes a giant line of credit for your use. Some people use it for home improvements, vacations, whatever, and then pay it back down. Whatever it is, you can use it, and it's always liquid. In fact, any money you have in the bank sits there and counts against your average daily balance, which means it earns the same amount of money as your balance does. So it cancels it out. If you had like 50 grand in the bank, it would cancel out $50,000 of interest on your mortgage. So affordable interest mortgage, theliquidloan.com. That's what you want to check out, theliquidloan.com. Affordable interest mortgage, 720-895-0500. Now, another kind of loan I want to talk about is a reverse loan. Reverse loans eat up your equity. That's what they do. They allow you to use your equity. There's no secret. Yes, it eats up your equity, but it'll never eat up more than your equity. You can live off of it for your entire life, no matter when you go on it, and you can live on it and never make a payment. Now, you have to pay taxes and insurance, but that's it. So why would you eat up your equity? Because it's yours. You may want to stay in your house with assisted living. You may want to just get rid of a mortgage payment. Don't feel guilty. Empower Reverse Mortgage can help you make your decision. They can talk to you. They have a helpline. Empower Reverse Mortgage. Mark and his team, 720-500-7719. 720-500-7719.
Ready to sell your vehicle or perhaps upgrade to some rated dealers? The Shop This Ride wants to buy your ride now. No matter the mileage, make, or year.
I didn't forget about Hannah, by the way. I didn't forget. I'm gonna do this thing.
At thesharpthisride.com.
Did you know that you do not have to tear up your entire kitchen in order to have a brand new look? Really high-end chic done-right kitchens. You'll save big with your total kitchen replacement without your unique quarter-inch cabinet resurfacing process. Choose smart solid hardwood options or modern solid colors with our Duraline synthetics. You bet, Dad. We'll build all new doors and door fronts with many styles to choose from, add new hardware, and if you wish, top it off with new custom-built counters. And how about adding a gorgeous new floor? Voila! A brand new luxurious look in your kitchen, having saved thousands. And you've not gone through the complications of a complete kitchen tear-out. Right on, Todd. Folks, call and check us out. Book your kitchen now for select install dates, and you'll enjoy a 12% savings. Kitchens, fans, counters, and floors, or even replacement units and doors. You have our word, we'll put you right at done. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
At EasyCater, food for work is our thing. It's literally all we've done for 15 years. Whether you need to feed a meeting or the whole company, we're here to make sure the food is professionally delivered, on time, as ordered, and all within your budget. No wonder we get orders from 93% of Fortune 500 companies. Food for work is what we do, and no one knows it better. Order 24/7 from over 95,000 restaurants at EasyCater.com. EasyCater, food for work. It's our thing.
The new HBO original series, House of the Dragon, now streaming on HBO Max. Each week, return to Westeros for the Inside Scoop with the official Game of Thrones podcast, House of the Dragon. Listen to the official Game of Thrones podcast, House of the Dragon, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
After Saturday's preseason loss to the Bills, Broncos coach Nathaniel Hackett set a lot of time for Tuesday's deadline game. According to the Athletic, the Nuggets were one of a few teams who inquired about the price tag for Kevin Durant. Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady returns to the team today after a 11-day hiatus for personal reasons. Coach Todd Bowles says he has some stories. I'm Frank.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Blinds.
After Saturday's preseason loss to the Bills, Broncos coach Nathaniel Hackett set a lot of time for
Look like you're about to chase. Well, good thing to do is.
Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom blind shades and shutter shift directly to
You guys like
is less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use code RADIO at checkout. Blindster.com.
Changing definitions
She can't even define woman.
to fit a narrative.
Change the definition of recession.
A narrative of a larger agenda.
For the Great Reset.
The definition of 630 KHAL is Denver's talk station.
Hey, listen, this is really important. Cybercrime has increased 100-fold since the pandemic, and you can protect your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, everything that you own with SaferNet.com. It's an app that runs in the background. You set it and forget it. And you will never be plagued with virus. You will never get malware. You will never get ransomware, ever, if you use SaferNet as intended. In fact, you can control what your kids browse. You can see where they go. You can do anything you want as the administrator. You can use it for work. You can use it for your family. And you get 44 days free. Just put Tom in the promo code so you can check it out. It's only a few bucks per unit once you get it. But 44 days free, SaferNet.com. It's wonderful. SaferNet. SaferNet.com. Okay. Chris needs to know where to buy a car. Chris, there is no best place. There's only a best way to buy a car.
It's for selling a car, Tom.
Oh, selling a car. Okay, same thing. There is no best way. There is only best systems. You know, Chris, Mark sold more cars than I have as far as personal cars. Mark, what do you like?
Well, I'll tell you what works. Craigslist works quite well.
Okay.
That's what I was going to ask, because I know you used to recommend an app for private sales.
They quit doing private stuff, so that app sucks now. But listed on Craigslist, but the important part is meet at the bank and get a bank cashier's check or get cash. That's it. Don't do it any other way, man.
No other way. And you're gonna get hit up with a lot of scams, Chris. But Mark,
I'm expecting that.
Mark, you also recommended Cars.com and Auto Trader.
I always end up selling them. Well, that's not true. I think I have sold one through either Auto Trader or Cars.com. But the majority I have sold ultimately comes through Craigslist.
And Chris, make sure you take your plates.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yeah, and get title in hand, of course. And then make sure you also have, if you just Google Colorado used car sale, just make sure you Google that. It'll have all the as-is language, and you're ready to go, man.
Yeah, you put down a bill of sale as is. You want to give the guy a bill of sale. You also want to sign over your title with a notary. You do it at the bank after you get the money.
No notary. Don't need a notary.
Excuse me. Okay, but do it at the bank as soon as you get payment. That's where you close, at that person's bank. If he doesn't have a bank, then you bring cash to the bank and get a cashier's check you can deposit.
Yeah, and if he, honest to God, if he shows up with $100 bills, I'd still meet at the bank and have the bank check them.
Yeah, and also have them, and deposit it in my account. So just let us know how it goes, but that's the way to do it. 303.
I'll do it that way then.
Thank you, Barrow. 303-713-TALK. Misty, what's going on with the apartment house? Misty?
Yes, sir.
Hi, what's going on with your apartment?
Well, so we've been here about 3.5 years. Recently, I've had 2 grandchildren, so, I like to give them a bath and called the landlord.
Well, why? Why do you call the landlord if you want to give your kids a bath?
Because the tub is plugged and it wouldn't drain. So, even after you shower, you have to wait at least an hour before.
How long has that been going on? How long has that been going on?
That was about a month, and then they took out 2 of the apartments. One was our laundry room. They took that out with no notice at all. So now we have no laundry room whatsoever, and they converted a 3-bedroom and our laundry room into 1 bedroom. Didn't pull permits.
No, wait a minute, Misty. This laundry room you're talking about, they took it from your apartment?
From the complex. So we had just a washer and a dryer, but they took it out. They didn't give any notice to any of the tenants. Just took it out.
Was it ever mentioned in your lease, the washer and dryer?
So in our first lease with the first owner, it was not. So then we got these new owners that own it now, and they just didn't sign a lease with us, so we assumed we're month to month. So
yeah, you are. You are. When did your lease expire?
Oh, January or April.
You are on a month to month. You are on a month to month.
We're on a month to month now. After our original landlord sold it, we're on a month to month.
Okay.
So we don't have a lease. So as soon as we started, just telling them what was wrong or, hey, can we get...
I know. They asked you to leave, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Misty, listen, I know this is terrible, but it's happening all over. Landlords are putting their foot down. They're saying, you know what? Leave if you don't like it. Now, they have to abide by the lease as far as, even though it's month to month, you have to go back to the lease to make sure they give you enough notice. How much have they officially asked you to leave?
Oh, that was a while ago. Yes, they did. And then they decided they couldn't find anybody to rent it, so they let us stay.
Wait a minute.
They just didn't say anything.
Okay, hold on. So hold on. Did they actually, what was your original deadline?
So I had moved out from Tony. I'd got my own place, and they wrote Tony a note on a paper and stuck it to the door and just said, you have 30 days to move out. But it wasn't anything official. They didn't.
I understand. That would have been when, Misty?
Oh, I moved back. I would say a year ago.
Last year.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. And then you moved, but Tony stayed.
Correct.
Okay, what's going on? Why'd you call today?
So I don't know. Tony had me email you guys just to say everything that's going on. So now they're getting ready to sell our building. We have a crack in our foundation, so every spring when it rains, it floods my room and my daughter's room.
But you're not there anymore.
No, I am. I'm here now. I'm back.
When did you move back?
May. June.
Okay.
June 1st. I came back.
Okay. Now listen, here's what I'm going to tell you. Because you're on a month-to-month, and they asked you to leave, but now you're on a month-to-month, yes, you are entitled to safe, quiet enjoyment of the premises. However, here's the rub, Misty, and I'm just telling you the truth here. It's not that I don't want to help you, but I think I'll help you more telling you the truth. They don't want you there. They don't care if they're selling it. They don't care. That's the way it is right now. So here's the deal. A lot of landlords got burned during the pandemic. They want to get out. A lot of companies are coming in and buying them up and condominiumizing them, or they're or renting. But bottom line is this, Misty. No matter what's wrong with your apartment, the ultimate weapon that you have is to move. You can't make them fix it. Well, you can try, but there's no use because your biggest weapon, it's called a constructive eviction. And all that means is you say to them, fix this or else I'm moving. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to say, okay, move. So it's a terrible situation for people who don't want to move.
That's what I tried to explain to Tony. And I told him, with the rent that we pay here for a 2-bedroom, there's no way we're moving. Absolutely not.
Well, yeah, so what like you are moving.
But Misty, you better do this. Listen carefully. While you're there and you're not paying that much rent compared to others, get ready because eventually when they sell the building, I predict they're going to ask you to leave. So you really need to start saving up some money to get out of there. And don't wait till the last minute. Don't wait till the last minute because otherwise you're screwed. I mean, you'll be in big trouble.
Say, hey, you have a month, get out.
What's that?
They're going to say, hey, you have a month, get out.
That's exactly right. So
hey, Misty,
please.
Who's on the lease? Is it you and Tony or just whose name is on the lease?
Yeah, it's both of us.
Okay.
Okay. I suggest you keep your head down and save some money and get the hell out of there. 303-713-8255. Thank you. I wish I had better news for you. 303-713-TALK. GarageMagic.com for your garage floors. Beautiful garage floors with a lifetime warranty. Up and down the front range. Guaranteed for life. 720-600-HOME. 720-600-HOME.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Mark Moss Show podcast.
A couple spots of drama throughout the Denver metro as we step into those noon hours. On the south end of town, I-25 southbound just before the exit to Bellevue Avenue. We've got stop-and-go traffic back from Hampton due to a crash with 2 left lanes blocked. This one's involving some injuries, may be around for a while, so watch out for delays. North from there, I-70 westbound just before the exit to I-270, an accident with 2 lanes blocked with stop-and-go traffic all the way back from I-225. Fox 31, Pinpoint Weather, partly cloudy skies before we step into the afternoon with a high of 84 degrees today, overnight low of 59, and mostly sunny skies tomorrow. The current temperature in Denver's 81. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
The Inflation Reduction Act was signed into law. The problem, though? It won't actually do anything to reduce inflation. I'm Mark Moss, helping you navigate the decentralized revolution. Listen to The Mark Moss Show on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
American Restoration is the company you need if your property is involved in a disaster of any kind, a fire, a flood, a broken pipe, mold, unattended crime, or unattended death. And people do have crime like meth labs in their rentals or whatever. Listen, your insurance pays for restoration most of the time. Don't let them recommend a company. Once they pay a bad company, they're done. You need a good company right up front, and you can trust American Restoration. That's Rock and his team. They have the knowledge, the EPA certifications, and the associations that you need to make sure you have the right company. Don't get just a glorified carpet cleaner or someone who calls themselves Restoration. American Restoration is the company I would use in my home, and you should too. They will do as little or as much as you want. They get to work right away. That's 8337-AM. REST stands for American Restoration. 8337 AMREST. Or American Restoration, that's AMREST247.com. AMREST247.com. Blake Harris Law is an estate planning attorney. He's also an estate executing attorney, meaning if someone dies right away and you need help, you can call. They can do everything remotely, by the way, including signing documents. So take advantage of Blake Harris's generous offer to answer your estate planning questions at 833-ASK-BLAKE. 833-ASK-BLAKE.
If you have to rent from them, then it's going to be around $800.
But then you're renting a little camper.
Yeah,
Okay.
tiny one. Every camper that he had was,
Black
since we're not on air, shitty,
Yeah, I got you.
horrible.
Yeah.
And so we made a deal.
This is
He's
so
like,
sad,
you can
this renting.
put down the deposit, and we'll get to fixing up this camper. You know, park it here, so that way you don't get arrested for parking something else. I was like, all right, why don't we help? I do my part, I'll help you clean it. Y'all fix the roof. Never. And then, no, I think we were only there for maybe 2 weeks, and
No, 3 weeks, because then he said, "Oh, you talking shit about my campground? I'll call the cops. Fuck off my property."
he heard Ray say that Ray felt that Ray and Hannah were being taken advantage of. He come banging on our door. And he goes, I heard the parents being abandoned homeless.
Our reaction.
Sounds like he is.
So, oh, he definitely is. So he says that we had until nightfall to all our shit
Then
get
he
out.
won't give you any money back.
No, when it's private property, you already know when it's private because land, the law of the land, it stipulates when someone owns the property, handshake an agreement. I handshook his agreement. By that meaning, he can use the police on his side. See, a person like that is what they call a manipulated predator. They know law. They know once you cross the grounds on that private property, you handshake, it's his word against yours, law-abiding citizen. By the time you take it to court, long by, you'll spend more money putting up with the bullshit. Get the fuck, sometimes, all money and good money, get the fuck out of there.
Honestly, I think that's the Dallas property.
You know, it's really good, though, the casinos home sells for tours.
Yeah. Yeah, they, even though
Yes,
It's got to be hard as fuck getting the job.
Oh, no, and here's the good thing. Like she says, gift to get, you got it, if you want some. I went up to Wildwood and said, I demand a job, dude gave me a job.
Didn't have an interview, didn't put a resume in. He just walked in.
You've been up there.
I've only been up there a couple months.
You've only been working for Wildwood too?
But it's going good.
Yeah, it's going great. I make close to $4,000 a month. So it's I've gotten
What made you get your life together?
going to prison 3-4 different times. See, I didn't.
How long did you do it?
First year I did 1, I did 5, and then I did 3.
What was the 5?
The 5 was for criminal trespass. I went in. My problem is friends, wrong type of friends. I go and help out my friend. He boots his lady's door. Him and his lady.
Consumers with radio, podcasting, streaming, and more. Make your business a household name and visit iHeartAdvertising.com or call 844-BUY-RADIO. Grow your reach, grow your business. Call iHeartMedia today. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com or call 844-BUY-RADIO.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Listen, we need to take these calls. People have been waiting, and let's talk to Mark. Mark, what's happening with you?
Hey, Tom, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, Mark?
Hey, not much, man. So I have an issue with, I have a 350Z sports car, and I've
Wait, what kind of car? What, a 350 what?
Nissan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 350Z. It's turbocharged. I blew up the
Is
engine.
this what used to be the 240Z and
The
then
ZX.
Okay.
Yeah, they updated it to the 350Z. So what
Okay.
I have to tell you right now is that I talked to my mechanic this morning, and we got into it, right? I said, look, I'm coming up. I'm getting all my stuff. I want my car towed. So right now I got all...
Well, hold on. Why did you take it to the mechanic anyway? What happened?
Well, it's really hard to find people that work on aftermarket 350Zs and like turbocharged cars, that type of stuff like that. And I have it up here for about a year.
What year is it?
And,
What year is it, Mark?
It's an 04. It's an 04. It's turbocharged.
Okay,
And,
so a Nissan 350Z turboed, and it's hard to get people to work on it. So where did you take it?
I took it to a mechanic up north. He's been very cooperative.
What's the name of the shop?
I don't want to mention it because he's been very cooperative so far.
Okay.
I said, look, either make things right, I'm coming up and get my stuff back.
When you say, but this is what I need to know. What do you mean make things right? All you told us is that you took a turbocharged 04 Nissan 350Z to a shop.
Correct.
What did they do wrong?
They didn't fix it.
Okay, what was wrong with it?
The engine was blowing up, period.
Well, then they need to sell you an engine, it sounds like.
Let me ask you something. How long was it there, Mark? How long was it there?
It was there for a year. Then
Okay.
hear me out, Tom.
Hey,
I
was
don't
it
understand it.
44th Auto?
No.
But here's what I don't understand, Mark. Why did you let it sit there for a year?
Because that's actually a very good question. But I got sick and tired this morning. I called them up. I said, look, I'm coming up. I'm getting all my parts. I'm getting everything back. And everything went well. They loaded about $20,000 worth of performance parts to the back of my car. They're about to tow my car and everything else. I'm saying right now, don't be afraid to stand up to people. You know, like he tried to give me a hard time and everything else. I said, look, I'm showing up and getting all my shit back. Excuse my language.
Well, I got it. Don't,
All right, thanks.
Don't worry.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Mark, hold on. This is really important, okay? You didn't tell us anything about why it was brought in and if they gave you an estimate.
Charged them anything?
What's that?
Or charged them anything?
Yeah, so right now, Mark, what I need to know is this. When you brought it in, was it running?
No.
Okay. Now, are you calling to give advice to others who have problems with their car like this?
Like, don't leave your car for a year somewhere?
Absolutely.
Good advice.
Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself.
You know, I think most people...
I agree, Mark. But even if you stand up for yourself, some people, like Mark mentioned 44th Auto, his modus operandi was to... here's what he would do. He would take a car, take it apart, leave it there, and then when people bitched about it, like you did to this other shop, he would say, well, you have to pay me storage, or you have to pay me this, or you have to pay me for taking it apart. And they said, I'm not paying you $5,000 for that. And then he'd lower the price to $1,500. They'd pay him with a smile and leave. So sometimes, Mark, standing up for yourself doesn't always work. It's a good idea for sure, but you let it stay there way too long to begin with. So where do we stand right now? Where's your car now?
In pieces,
My
heading
car's
to his
here.
house.
They're about to tow it away for free to my house. I got my about $15,000 to $20,000 worth of racing parts in the back of my car, and I called him this morning. I said, "Look, I'm coming up right now. I want my car back. I want my parts back right now. I'm showing up. No excuses. I want everything back." And
you're happy they did it? Right?
I would say so, yeah. I mean,
this has to be the worst success story I've ever heard in my
What
entire
I need
life.
to know is, did you pay them anything?
They're refunding all the money.
Well, that's great. Then that sounds like a good shop to me.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, man, if I didn't stand up for myself,
Okay, that's the message. We heard it. 303-713-TALK.
I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
No, we heard it. Hey, listen, they have a right to call. He called. He said, hey, stand up for yourself. Okay, I got it.
I like how his red line was 1 year.
GenesisTotalExteriors.com does solar systems as well. Of course, they can do everything. They can do the roof, and while you're doing it, they said it's a great time to do a solar system. Solar, that's GenesisSolarCO.com. By the way, a 25-year guarantee on components and on energy production. Find out more at GenesisSolarCO.com.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Our American Stories podcast.
We've got some bumps and bruises out on the roads and freeways this afternoon. Starting on the south end of town, I-25 southbound just before the exit to Bellevue Avenue. We've got a crash in the left lane with stop-and-go traffic back from Hampton Boulevard. About 6 minutes of delays for drivers there. This one's involving injuries, so it may be around for a while. And north of there, I-70 westbound at I-270, 2 right lanes blocked with stop-and-go traffic back from I-225. Fox 31, Pinpoint Weather, partly cloudy skies today with an overall high of 84 degrees, overnight low of 59, and mostly sunny skies tomorrow. The current temperature in Denver is 81 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
If I told you Pepsi promised their customers a fighter jet, you probably wouldn't believe me. But one man did, and sued when he didn't get it. Be sure to listen to this week's edition of Our American Stories on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You know, the liquid loan is easy to understand because it's a line of credit. So let's say you owe $350 on your house, okay? Or you're buying a house for $350, whatever. You get the $350, right? And that's a line of credit. Now, what it means is you can pay it down anytime you want, and you only pay simple interest on the balance. Now let's say your house goes up in value, or your house is worth a lot more than what you paid, or the loan you paid. So let's say you have extra equity. You can borrow more money, and it's liquid, so you can pay it right back. You can pay it off and then borrow it all back. You can make it go up and down and pay interest only on the outstanding amount. It's your choice. If you want to stay there, you pay more principal. If not, you don't. And here's the good thing. If you keep money in the bank to pay bills, that money earns the same exact interest as your loan, which means it offsets your loan. So if you have 50 grand in the bank, you offset 50 grand. So it's an amazing product. TheLiquidLoan.com from Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. You know what else is amazing? When an attorney does exactly what they say and when they say it. And John Fuller is one of those people. He wants you to find out the difference. You can call around if you want. If you're injured and need an attorney, don't waste time. You can go to myaccidentlawyer.co and find out about John Fuller and call him. What he'll do is he will take a look at your case and tell you honestly what he can do, and he'll talk to you personally. You're not going to talk to an intake person, and he'll give you his cell phone number and be in constant contact. And he works, of course, on contingency if he takes the case, but the call is free. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500, myaccidentlawyer.co. You hear me talk about this guy like he's my best friend. But I have to say I'm not special to him. What I mean is, he'll treat you like that too. I thought, oh my God, he loves me. I'm the only person. I'm the only customer. He treats everyone like that. He even treated Mark like that. And we use him time and time again. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. If you're listing a property, you won't do better. If you're selling a property, he'll be on it. He'll sell it for more, and he'll sell it in less time. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Everyone is talking about one big thing in politics. Is Donald Trump running again? And then they want to know,
Is that Irish twins, actually?
What the hell does that mean?
My brother and I are Irish twins. Irish twins are when two babies are born in the same year.
God, I never heard of that. I'm an only child, so I don't give a fuck.
My brother and I were born in the same year,
year, but we were born within a year of each other. We're 10 months apart. Somebody called it understood. That's not
No, it's the same shit.
As long as it's under 12 months.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The cycle.
See, there's not a term, but I want a term for when two siblings share a birthday, but they're years apart.
Yeah,
Like
we're born on the same day.
I'm May 20th, but my oldest brother is 6 years older than me. He's the 21st. It's not a term.
Well, wait a minute.
There's a photo of
How can
Braylon
they sell
Taylor
that? But
since
they
they
can
were
sell it
babies.
okay without
They
being
would
licensed.
sleep
But what it
in the
can,
same crib.
listen to what I'm
There's that.
saying.
I think the only
They can
photos
sell it
of
for sure. They can
babies
sell
are-
it. Anyone can retail sell something, but
Our
installing
littlest
it
brother
is where you
Mitchell as a
Right?
baby, and that's because he was premature.
Well, then, Paul, I can buy a water heater, a furnace. I can buy any product that requires a license. Why would you need a license to sell?
I think us four
Yes.
and Connor does have
advertise selling water softeners unless you're
I think after
or licensed
Oh,
water conditioner.
so
it's
how do I buy?
Rebecca,
How can you? I go online right now and buy one.
Hey,
You're saying
so Doc has delivered couple thousand babies. He's a baby doctor, or was. He's retired. But when you have a woman giving birth, how long are you supposed to wait to have sex?
Okay, and they're licensed.
It depends whether it's C-section or vaginal delivery.
Well, vaginal.
Okay.
We usually tell them 6 weeks.
I did not
Okay,
realize
so
it had to be
both of their parents weren't listening to the doctor if they had another kid within 10 months, no matter how you do it.
Well, right.
Can a woman get pregnant directly after birth? Like the next week?
No, it usually takes a little bit of time.
So you'll never see two kids 9 months apart.
Right.
Unless if one's like a big time freak.
Okay.
Right.
Can I ask a question?
What?
I'll work on that.
How common is it for babies to be born with the umbilical cord wrapped around the throat?
It's not, it happens. That's why we do a lot of emergency C-sections. Because it's very easy to tell, because when you're monitoring the baby, you can tell right away if
Okay, I can see that. But
Yeah.
My parents say that I was born with my umbilical cord wrapped around my throat.
Were you
But-
C-section or vaginal?
No, she was born at home.
They never took me to a doctor afterwards. What are the health risks?
Nothing.
Purple hair.
It was supposed to be red.
Purple hair.
Right? You have to be either
If you had help, people would know.
I didn't know that. To sell it.
Because it can cause all kinds of real problems.
sell something and not be
That's Bobby's.
water treatment.
My uncle was born that way, and he's dead now, but he lived.
Didn't make us kings. Dragons did.
Listen to the official Game of Thrones podcast, House of the Dragon, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. From your radio to your desktop, and when you ask Alexa to play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio, Denver's talk station is available everywhere. Just download our free iHeartRadio app. 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Tracy, what's going on with you, Tracy?
Hey, what's happening, Tom? I just called to ask you a question about the bug eating. I was listening to Alex Jones and some of these other stations. They're talking about taking away meat and forcing people to eat bugs.
Okay, let me explain this. No. I know a lot about this, actually. Let me tell you about it. What happens is, first of all, I just want you to, I want you to know something, Tracy. I'm neither conservative nor liberal in everything. I go back and forth on issues. Okay, okay. I just want to say that this is not political, but I will say this: that is a conservative propaganda to get people worked up. Just like liberals have propaganda to get people worked up. Like liberals say, they're going to control this and they're going to control that. And conservatives say, liberals want to let everyone on death row out of prison. I'm just giving stupid examples. What I'm saying is this, Tracy. There is no truth to that liberals are trying to get rid of the meat industry, listen carefully, and force us to eat bugs. However, it was taken from truth. PETA. No, Mark, it's not PETA. It was taken from truth in this regard. Listen, feed yards and cattle operations, they say, contribute more than their share to climate change. So, This is what they're saying. They would like to institute more control and regulation over that industry, but not just ranching, but they want to exercise more control over farming and ranching and industry and all kinds of things that are contributing, what they say, to climate change. Now, a totally separate organization, separate from these people that want to pass climate change legislation. And by the way, some of the biggest climate change stuff already went through with the Inflation Reduction Act, as they called it. But let me say this. Now, on an entirely different front, you have people pushing bugs and insects that carry nutrients that they believe will feed the masses, okay? And they think it's our answer to feeding the masses because you can raise them anywhere, you can toast them and eat them, and you will avoid starvation. So...
And honestly, Tom, they're probably better for you than, say, wheat.
Well, what they're doing is they're using cricket powder.
Here's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is you have people like Alex Jones and other nuts. They take, and Dr. Mercola, I like him, by the way, Mercola.com, but here's what he's doing. He's taking the two camps that are both liberal, the ones pushing bugs, and the ones saying the meat industry is hurting climate, and he's putting them together to extrapolate the opinion that liberals want us to stop eating meat and to start eating bugs. That's exactly what they're getting. Now, there is some truth to each strain of thought, but I'm telling you, I am sick and tired of people trying to pit us against each other. And that is exactly what that is, Tracy. That's exactly what it is. Okay? I mean, it really is. And just don't fall for it. Now, should we be aware of things and these trends? Of course we should. We shouldn't be blind to them. But for us to say, the liberals are trying to get us to stop eating meat and they're pushing bugs. Well, that's not true. There might be some nuts who believe that, and then there might be others who say, you know what, maybe we should clean up the meat industry a little, and maybe others saying, you know what, we ought to look into this insect powder to help supplement our diets.
I like veal.
Okay, all I'm saying, Mark, is there's a little bit of truth to everything we hear, but what they do is extrapolate it to the extreme to try to get us worked up with each other. And if you don't see that, and I don't mean you, Mark, I mean everyone, if they don't see it, it's ridiculous. They have us on puppet strings, and they want us to be pissed off.
Hey, Tom?
A lot of time in the garage.
Say, Tom.
Yes.
When they say eating bugs, people think about picking up a bug and eating it. What they did, there's a whole line of products that's made out of cricket powder that's used instead of wheat flour. So it's a little different than actually eating a bug. It's bug-derived.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going back.
Or there's certain restaurants you can go to, Doc, that, you know, they serve all kinds of bugs.
Right, but mainly it's the protein powder that they use for any other protein powder.
Okay. All right, listen to the phone.
It's Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter. Mornings at 10. Streaming live on our free iHeartRadio app and at khow.com.
Oh my God, Doc, look how small my daughter's class is.
A message to New York State. A message on polio is a simple one. It's get back.
Well, that's not a small class.
It's like 60.
Wait, that's only 60 people?
Yeah.
It looks like about 100.
Between 60 and 70.
That's a great class size.
He provides protection against the numerous overcrowding.
I know my medical school was 150.
He isn't retired, but he will step down.
And that didn't seem too big.
And as the White House chief medical advisor. Russia's intelligence agency says Ukraine was behind a...
But as hard as it is, Mark, to get into medical school, it's 10 times harder to flunk out. And the only people that flunk out after the first year, this is a true fact, so I can say it, were 3 young black women who were accepted under affirmative action program, who should not have been there. Who took
In your entire class, that was it?
Yep.
Everybody else became a doctor?
Yep.
I don't hear you jump in when... Oh, my God.
Janesville, Wisconsin. 2 additional people remain in critical condition. Press Secretary Commissioner Pierce says in a statement the White House is saddened by
anything, it's an absolute fact.
Our hearts are with the families who lost loved ones, and we are praying for those still fighting for their lives. Eric Travers, ABC News, Washington.
The special honor for
It's like that subject of the prison and where they
Hey, Tracy. Tracy. Tracy.
Short-staffed work with climate research facilities in the eye of the storm. The atmospheric pressure to find more weather specialists is mounting.
This is going to be a big job. We're going to need a bigger team.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast. Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates who resonate and do match your job description. Visit Indeed.com.
Tracy, is that you?
Did you guys have 2 people downstairs?
Sorry about that. Hang on.
Oh, me? Yeah. No.
You're just here by yourself.
My stepdad's in the parking lot.
He's obsessed with this shit.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
He's the one who came up to me and told me that my brother's girlfriend's mom taught him.
Ah, I remember the story now.
Yeah. And then he was always trying to get us to make a joke. But as soon as I found out y'all talked about my family, I like used to listen to the show.
Well, yeah, but we were all on your side.
It's weird. It's like looking through a window. I don't want to see or hear people talking about my family issues, you know?
Maybe.
Sometimes that voice is that constructive criticism.
No, I do.
Somebody has to. No, I know. Somebody has to, and that's.
It's like that therapist. I don't want to talk about my problems. I certainly don't want to hear other people talk about my problems.
But it's good for some people listening that might have someone in the same circumstance. And I'm not just talking about you. A lot of times when we're kind of making fun of people, like I was making fun of that guy that had that car in a place for a year. No, I'm being very serious here. It's entertaining, but at the same time, people listening are thinking to themselves, wow, okay, well, I'll never make that mistake. So they're actually learning from what this guy went through. But like everything we do here is almost a lesson as well. So, but you bring something that we just don't have before. 40 years Tom's been doing this. I don't think this calls ever came in. And then you tell me the first thing you said today is how many other people are affected by this. I wouldn't have thought anybody was. To me, it's mind-blowing. There is an underground society of people that have no birth certificates. And let's face it, it ain't fucking easy to get them. They make it almost impossible.
It's a circle.
If we didn't have like media connections and shit, I don't think we could help you out. I think our only luck is we can get through to people that can literally make other people listen. Whether or not anything gets done, I don't fucking know, but we can get through to the heads of different places. If it happened here in Colorado, we'd have a lot better luck. Dealing with Texas ain't no fucking fun.
And that's usually where you find situations like these, is out now.
But really, you can bring life lessons, not like here in a half-hour interview or anything, but that starts it. But think about it, as you get older, you could bring life lessons to people that find themselves...
Now your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our 2022 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword Festival to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. this as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere. We handle all kinds of problems, questions, and complaints, some you cannot even believe. And one of them came into our place and a call came in. And the kid said to Suze, I need a birth certificate. I can't get a job. I can't go to school. I can't do anything. And Sue says, well, that should be easy. Did you lose it? He said, no, I never had it. What do you mean you never had it? And you got to correct me as I go, Suze. But sure. He said, well, I have there's 9 of us here. And 5 of us, is it?
Well, Tom, there's 10 siblings altogether and the 4 middle ones.
The 4 middle ones do not have birth certificates. And she says, what do you mean? He said, well, we were born in a trailer, and our parents never got birth certificates. And we've been invisible, basically.
No hospital records, no religious records. Suzanne, no records.
Suze, so what else? Go on, just talk about that, the first call that came in. What else did you find out about this guy?
Well, Tom, it's just so sad because they were born at home, and the parents just never told the state of Texas they were born. It's just the craziest thing.
Now, why did the parents do this?
Well, I think at the time, my understanding is that they were too poor to go to a hospital to have the babies.
I think they lived, and we can ask her, but I think they lived a little off the grid, like didn't want anything to do with the government, but I could be wrong.
Now, we'll find out more. We'll find out more. So, then how do we come to, by the way, we were able to work through this to try to get birth certificates for who, Suze?
Well, what the state of Texas requires is, our first caller his name was Bray, and what the state of Texas requires is that you apply for the birth certificate so they can look you up and say, yes, there's no record of your birth in the state of Texas. And in the mail I should have today or tomorrow is what we need to do for a delayed birth registration in the state of Texas for these 4 kids. What makes it really hard, Tom, is none of them ever went to school. They didn't go to doctors. They didn't go to church. They didn't socialize with a lot of people outside of their family. So I'm just finding it very difficult to prove that these 4 children were actually born in the state of Texas. And then after Bray reached out, one of his siblings' boyfriend's dads listens to our show and reached out for a gal named Hannah, who is Bray's sister. And
so
that is
Hannah,
who we have in studio today.
So Hannah's with us today. She comes from this family of 10 kids and parents. And I'm going to ask Hannah some questions because we are so curious, and we also want to help, and we also want people listening to know that you can call with any problem, as Hannah will attest to. Now, Suze, is Hannah included in the non-birth certificate siblings?
She sure is. They range from 18 to 24 years old. And
you're helping Hannah too, right?
Helping Hannah too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Hannah, I want to ask you a question, and it's nice to meet you. I'm at home. You're in the studio. Mark's there with you and Suze, and I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you. I'd like to ask you up front, was it a happy home?
Not really. Sometimes my dad would try his best, but it was a lot of fighting. Some with the kids, mostly with our parents. We watched our parents fighting a whole lot.
But you guys are not abused.
No.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. And did your parents work outside the house?
My dad did. My dad worked his main job as a maintenance man for a ranch, and then depending on if money was tight or if holidays were coming around, then he would pick up part-time at a convenience store. My mom didn't work.
You're sophisticated enough now. You've been out of the house for how long?
A year.
Oh, only a year. You watch TV, you read, you know. Here's what I want to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Would your lifestyle growing up be called backwoods or hickey or hillbilly or what? Or if you had
Redneck.
to, huh?
Redneck, I think that's how we would go about it. Trailer park trash is another one.
Well, okay, we don't call people trash, but I know what you mean.
Tom, there was 10 kids and 2 adults, right, Hannah, in that one trailer at one point, and Bray shared with us.
Now,
all kinds of things.
It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. We took out one of the bathrooms and turned it into a bedroom, so that way we could at least separate the girls and the boys. But we didn't really have any windows, just
okay,
blasted.
So you kids grew up like this. Your dad always provided food, though your dad and mom, right? And meals.
Yes. They always made sure. We had some neighbors helping us too with food, but they always made sure that at least we were fed and we were warm. We had a dryer in our house, and instead of the vent going out, we would have the vent facing the kitchen and the living room.
Oh
and
my
we would
God.
Wet towels.
Oh my
and
God.
put it in there so that way we could stay warm during the winter. We had no
Oh, God.
heating, no
Okay,
heating.
now.
Tom, I think this picture she's painting is important. At one point, they would only flush the toilet, the one toilet that was left, one time a day, right?
Okay. Now, they wanted to save money. They were trying to provide. How did they feel about school? Did they school you kids?
They put my 2 oldest sisters in school, and we got to watch them get good grades, and they got to graduate, and my oldest sister even had a college trust fund, which they had to completely drain because they had to keep bailing her out of jail. But everyone else, no, we didn't go to school at all.
Well, how did you learn to read and write and about the world?
I taught myself. My older brother, Tom, he taught himself how to read and write after watching Wheel of Fortune because he was so interested in the letters. But
oh, my God.
I taught myself how to read because I was very interested in the Harry Potter books. And that's just how I express myself, is I have to write down everything that I'm feeling.
Okay. So you guys are self-taught, and then when did you realize you were way different than other kids?
I think I was about 13 or 14 when I started asking, like, how come we're not in school? But it wasn't until the earliest memory I have is when I was 15, my mother told me that I don't have anything. And so when I was 15, I kept getting on to them about it, like, hey, can we go? I need my birth certificate. I need my ID. When I turned 16, I wanted a driver's license. I kept getting on to it, and it was always just, they procrastinated. They always put it off and everything. And I remember my dad used to tell me it would be easier once I turned 18, which it isn't. It's not easier after you hit the age 1. And my mom used to tell us not to talk about it. Don't talk about our situation. Don't tell other people that you don't have it, because they'll get in trouble.
Was there love among the siblings and parents?
That's a difficult question. And it's harder now that we are older. As a child, yeah, I felt a little bit loved, but the older I got and the more I wanted my birth certificate.
No, I understand. You started to resent the lifestyle.
They started to resent me.
Well, because you were asking questions.
For pushing, Tom.
For pushing.
Yeah.
Now, how many of you don't have certificates? 4 of you?
4 of us, including me.
And who are the 4? Girls and boys? How many girls?
I'm the only girl.
Okay.
It's my older brother and then my 2 younger brothers. Brandon.
How's your older brother doing?
He does well. He doesn't have anything as well, but he works for my brother-in-law. And so he has a job, he has an income because of that, and he can drive.
Now, what do you mean brother-in-law? How's that related?
My older sister's husband.
So you have an older sister who has a birth certificate?
Yes.
Yeah, the older ones and the younger ones do.
4 oldest, and Tom, the funny thing about the 2 youngest siblings that are in their teens that have their birth certificates and have IDs, it's because They were in emergency birth situations, so Mom had to go to the hospital with the 2 youngest ones.
Do you have a good relationship with your parents now, Hannah?
No.
They,
I haven't talked to my parents since May. I haven't talked to my mom since, I want to say,
Okay.
March or something, and we got into a fight, and I tried reaching out to my dad.
Now,
in
the
June.
parents had them because they can't get normal jobs because of lack of documentation.
Yeah.
A lot of them worked under the table, and of course, you know where that money went when they lived at home. It went right
Well,
to the
I don't
parents.
know. Did your parents take money from you?
Yes and no. It wasn't more of a take. It was they would make you feel bad that they didn't have any money because they had so many kids that you felt pressured to help them.
Was there drugs in the household? I mean, were your parents like alcoholics or drug addicts or anything?
After my oldest sister left, there was no more drugs in the house.
Okay, so your parents, did they ever school you in spirituality or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So did they ever try to teach you about the world? I mean, eventually you're going to get older and leave. Did they say anything about the world?
The only time I ever had a conversation about the world was I think it was 2012, I believe, and it was when Barack Obama was about to get reelected, and I was 13. And it was on the TV, and I said, "Who cares?" And my dad yelled at me and said, "Well, you should care about the world. You should be watching the news." And that was really the only conversation we ever had.
Okay, so did you watch TV a lot then?
When I was a kid, yeah, cartoons were always on because there were so many little ones. But the more I went into my teens, the more I had to be a mom. And I had to cook, and I had to clean, and I had to take care of my 4 little brothers. And I remember when I was 17, my mom got a part-time job, and I was in charge of waking up early, making sure, there was breakfast, making sure dishes were done, making sure everything was clean, cooking dinner.
And by the way, you're sitting next to Raymond, and how did you meet Raymond?
I met Raymond at work. When I moved to Colorado, I found a doggy daycare that paid under the table, and he was working there.
Okay. Hold on, we have more coming up.
Are you thinking about selling your home? With Orchard, you can skip the typical headaches and hassles of listing a home and go straight to getting an all-cash offer. It's simple. Once Orchard determines your home value, they make you a cash offer. Then, when Orchard sells your home for more than they paid you for it, you keep all the profit. If you're ready to maximize your earnings on your old home and minimize the stress of selling it, you need to try Orchard. Visit Orchard.com and see how you can get an all-cash offer today. Orchard, it's the new way to home.
So, the liquid loan I've told you about, I hope you understand it. It's simply a line of credit. So what's good about that is you don't have a fixed payment. You can pay interest only, or you can pay principal, and you can do it any time you want. You can make extra principal payments anytime you want, or you can borrow the money back if you need it, and you can borrow even more than the original amount if your equity allows you to. Your payment will stay lower, and if you decide to make a regular principal payment, you will pay off your house way quicker than any other loan. It's called theliquidloan.com. And I'm telling you, it's a great way to offset mortgage interest because every dime you have in your normal savings or checking account earns the same amount of interest as your mortgage. If it goes up, that goes up. So it offsets the interest you're paying on your mortgage. Theliquidloan.com from Affordable Interest Mortgage, theliquidloan.com, 720-895-0500. TheArtOfGranite.com. Mitch Floria. He'll do your countertops like no one else. First of all, he'll give you a price on the phone. Second of all, he'll tear out and haul away all free. Third, he'll do the bathroom vanity when you do the kitchen. And fourth, wholesale on all materials. You don't do better than that. TheArtOfGranite.com. Whether natural stone or man-made material, he does it all. Plus cabinets. 303-386-5919. Get your price. 303-386-5919. If you're selling your house, we all know that the market has slowed down just a little. Yeah, it has. And people aren't getting the highest price in the world, but there is a way to sell your house called Homevestors if you don't want to wait for a buyer, or you don't want to wait for loans or inspections or appraisals or closings, and you just want to check. Now, I'm not saying you'll do it, but I know this. You'd be a fool not to call and at least get the offer on your home. You could have a check this week. 800-44-BUYER. 800-44-BUYER.
Do roller coaster stock markets make you nervous? With such frequent ups and
It's very
downs,
simple things
volatility derail your retirement.
that should have been taught to us forever ago. Like riding a bike and tying our shoes. I had to teach myself how to do all that.
Call today to schedule a complimentary review of your portfolio. Call 720-488-8604. That's 720.
I would get told to donate.
You know, your dad did sign show up and get all that stuff notarized for us. I was a little shocked.
I think it has.
Well, we were about to blow his life up if he didn't show up. Like, you can't even understand.
I think it has more to do with his image. My mom is very obsessed with public image.
Yeah,
she doesn't talk to
so poor. Where the hell's that coming from?
I don't know, and that's why we're so confused. It's just there was a time when Raymond and I, we were not in a good situation. I wanted to break up. So I went up to my mom. No. There's no room for me there. I found out from my little brother Connor, Braylon just spent the night with them because his girlfriend's just out of town. Our car broke down, and I asked my mom, can we tow it to your garage so we can fix it? The water pump. It's February. It's freezing outside. My dad told me no, there's not allowed to have broken cars anywhere in the neighborhood. Tom's car was broken down.
They really said that to him.
It was an HOA, and Tom's car was broken. We were going to be in the garage too. You wouldn't see us. But Tom's car was broken down for 2 months, parked in the driveway. My little brother Taylor's car was broken down for 3 months.
Why do you think they have it out for you now?
I don't know.
What a story, dude. You're a saint.
I think it's a little bit of
I can relate to that.
him, but also just
my wife came from very religious background, and I was non-religious, so her family wanted shit to do with me, kind of.
I think I don't know, I found out recently we were homeless for 3 months and I didn't speak to my parents at all. My car broke down. And
recently too.
Yeah. We moved in August 1st.
I hope you two keep your shit together. I think you will, honestly.
My car broke down and I couldn't even know did it fit. I would have to walk. I remember walking one time because we only had enough money for one Uber and he had to go to work and it was further out. So I walked to work. It was only a 40-minute walk. It was 2 degrees outside.
Yeah.
I found out a week ago when my little brother's car broke down, my parents gave him $800 to know that it fits as a loan. And they don't speak to me at all.
Can't let that part bother you, though.
It bothers me now because my mom was treating Tanner, so Tanner is my 16-year-old brother. He's the one after us with the birth certificate. She wouldn't talk to him for about 3 days and like slamming doors whenever he was on the phone with me.
Storms as we get into later on this afternoon with a high today a little below average at 84. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Worse.
Do you need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hello, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, so we have Hannah here. We'll go back to in a minute. Tim has a question or a problem with a financial advisor, I think. Hey, Tim, what's going on with you?
Hey, Tom, just wanted to let you know, I got one of these invitations for dinner from a financial advisor. He'll come here and give their pitch. But he also said that if you couldn't make the dinner, that he would send you a $75 gift card to the Colorado Golf Club out in Parker, which is pretty exclusive and hard to get into. So I gave him that chance, and he said we could meet by phone, online, or in person, my choice. So we had a phone conversation about that. Then after we finished phone conversation, I ended up not going with him, but the gift card never showed up. Had several conversations online with him, and always an excuse about why it was not coming and that sort of thing.
Hey, do you have it in writing anywhere that the card would be given to those who can't show up for dinner?
Yes, I have it right here. I'm reading right from it.
Okay, and what are you reading from?
It's the advertisement that he sent, and it advertised the dinner, and then it just right next to it on the printed advertisement says, if you cannot make the dinner event, then you can call us, set us up a personal invitation and interview at your choice.
Okay, do me a favor. Can you take a picture of that with your phone?
Sure. And
send it. Suze will tell you where to send it, and then we'll put Deputy Doc on it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, do you want to mention his name?
I'll be happy to. The name of the company was Integrated Financial Architects, and the individual was named Terry Anderson.
You just wanted the free dinner, right?
Well, I couldn't do the dinner that he advertised, but yeah, I wanted the gift card to the golf club to see it. Then he told me that, well, he couldn't do that because you had to be a member, and so then he offered me a gift card to a restaurant instead.
Hold on. Sure. What would be wrong? Hold on now. He's still going to buy you a gift card, though, right?
Well, this has been since June 20th, and no gift card ever came.
Okay.
And I have all the email communication. He told me his wife had a car accident. It tied him up, but he was going to be sending it, and several others, but then it never happened. Never got the card.
All right. You should get the card, but let me ask you something.
Sure.
What was the pitch about that you really weren't going to accept a financial planner no matter what, right?
I had told him who I was currently with, and I told him that, if you can show me that you can do the same type of service that I'm getting for less of the fees on the financial advisor end, I'd be happy to go with him.
Can you imagine using a financial advisor that gives out Applebee's gift cards or whatever? It just sounds crazy.
Right.
You wanted the free dinner. Then there's nothing wrong with it. I've done it, and we need to call and get it to you.
Yeah, I want to see that offer first, Mark, and then we'll give it to Deputy Doc. Suze will tell him how to do it. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So I have some questions for Paul the Waterman at waterpros.net. Paul, okay, I want to go over the systems you can get. Now, the simplest water system for drinking water is the triple filter reverse osmosis under $1,000. That's the one I have here, right?
Yeah, absolutely correct.
Okay. Now, for that to be whole house, and I'm not recommending people do that, would that provide drinking water, pure drinking water, in the whole house? Is that possible?
Yeah, that's possible.
But it's expensive, isn't it?
Right, it is expensive.
Because there's no reason to do it to begin with. But if you wanted to, I'd rather go, like if you had a sink, then you have a bar, and maybe you have an entertainment center, you put 3 in, the 3 would be $2,700 or something like that, right?
Right.
So what would happen? What would a whole house for drinking water be, or would you not recommend it?
So I would recommend it, and so we have a whole house system. It's called the Matrix Unit, and it's on our webpage.
Does it do softening as well?
As conditioning and drinking water, you bet.
Both?
Yes.
Both.
See, reverse osmosis is the ultimate, but right now what we're facing with the PFOs and PFAs, we have the whole house system that can take that out of every single faucet, so you're not drinking that anymore.
And it also softens your water.
Absolutely.
And
correct.
how much does that cost?
That's $49.95, and we are able to offer discounts if the plumbing is.
But that's an incredible price. That's
Well,
a good price.
well,
That's for a whole house purification and conditioning.
Well, absolutely correct.
Hold on. You realize that's still lower than these halo magnets these other people are selling.
Well, and a lot of my competitors sell water softeners starting at $5,000, and that's just a
So
water
this
softener.
is for softening and conditioning.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
Holy crap.
Right. And so we use proven technology.
Now, I'm only mentioning this because he did. I wouldn't violate any privacy or any plumber to client confidentiality. But I don't know if there is some. I heard on the Talib, I think he said on Facebook, on YouTube here, that he has a system of yours. Talib does.
Yeah, Talib does.
Whole house.
Yes.
What did he get?
He got we gave him the matrix system.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So he has the matrix system. He has his whole house conditioned and water purification.
Absolutely correct.
Whoa! What were the total dissolved solids there? Did he have more than me?
Probably about the same.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, as far as the hardness, absolutely. So, what the whole theory is with soft water, with chlorine-free water, by attacking the PFOs and PFAs, what you're doing then is giving yourself better water
all over
the place,
and better plumbing,
right,
and better laundry,
exactly,
and better drinking water,
exactly, and not have what you have at your refrigerator is the hard water buildup and stains on your ice maker water dispenser.
Okay. Thanks for pointing out my defects while you're at my house. 303-713-TALK. By the way, you get us that picture. We'll do that as far as the financial planner. We want to see the ad. And we have more coming up. I just want to tell you that Renew Home Innovations will do your showers. They'll take that old, ugly tub and shower. You know how they have that? I don't know what they are. They're ugly. And they were like circa 70s and 80s. Even some of the 90s, they'll take all that out and put a beautiful stone walls made from stone resin, looks exactly like real stone. That's what they'll do. It's unbelievable to me what they will do. And listen to this. I just got a text from Nick for your beautiful shower installation, which, by the way, is all custom for you and no maintenance. He says they're offering payments as low as $100 a month. And a new shower, listen to this, with 72 months, no interest financing. Holy crap. That's your choice at renewhomeinnovations.com, 303-904-2000.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6:30 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.
Couple things in your way this afternoon. An accident southbound I-25 just before Bellevue. This has traffic stop and go from Hampton. That's going to add about 5 to 10 minutes onto your commute. Another wreck westbound I-70 at I-270. Now this has the right lane as well as the express lane blocked. Volume from I-225 there. A crash at University in Warren between Iliff and Evans. Slow speeds on that stretch. Otherwise, highways look to be in good shape. Northbound I-25 running a little slow from Alameda up to Colfax. Your Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Slight chance of showers later this afternoon. Otherwise, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-80s. Mostly clear tonight down to 56. Sunny tomorrow, mid to upper 80s. And Wednesday, partly cloudy, 88. Right now, it's 78. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Katie Mitchell, 630 KHOW.
Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use the code RADIO at checkout. Blindster.com.
I guess that's my turn, isn't it, to tell you about Joseph A. Lazara, a criminal defense attorney that I truly hope you never need. Now, listen, life is not always perfect. You know, I had a neighbor who got into a scuffle with another neighbor, not me, but he ended up having charges against him. It was stupid. He needed a defense attorney, even though you don't think you will ever need an attorney. Sometimes you do, and sometimes you do stupid things, like you drink a little too much and drive. You're not a stone-cold drunk, but you did something wrong. Whatever it is, Joseph A. Lazara Listen, you need an attorney to get through the system. Joe Lazzara is the one. And you don't do shopping when you're under pressure. I've done the shopping for you. 303-429-6200. Free consultations initially, and then, of course, flat rate pricing if you hire him. 303-429-6200. And you can find Joe Lazzara, Lazzara, on referralist.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us.
Mom doesn't like Halloween, and she thought it was the devil's holiday, so they got banned.
So they were kind of religious, right?
No, she just thought it was the devil's holiday. She thought it was a stupid holiday. And my little sister,
What was the devil's holiday?
my older sister, she was maybe 8. You know that one part he also Goldilocks goes into the house, and they shut the door and you see all the blood. It apparently scared her at 8 years old, and so they got banned for 5 years.
Did you watch South Park?
No, that was not allowed on our house. South Park was not allowed in our house. No anime was allowed in our house at all.
How about shit like Game of Thrones?
Never was a Game of Thrones type person. My Sunday nights was for The Walking Dead. Yeah, it was
I love it.
when you
It got
have.
to a point that if you agree, it got to a point.
I stopped watching after Carl.
Okay,
Now if I
so-
watch it, I'll stop right after he gets shot. Yeah. There's an episode ends right after he gets shot, and he like wakes up, and I end it there, so it ends on a happy note. And I'm a baby.
I can't believe it.
I've seen every zombie movie.
Really?
Love vampires.
I used to watch.
I can't do vampires.
I used to watch Zombieland every single day.
You ever see a True Blood?
I wasn't a vampire person. Like, I would watch Twilight, and I saw the second and the third one in theaters. But after that, I was like, I'll watch it when it's on DVD, and then I just... But when you have so many siblings and your ages, like my oldest sister,
Oh, I can't
it's
even
10.
one TV.
Our oldest sister is 10 years old with me. I'm 10 years old with my youngest brother. That's a 20-year age gap. So, you do literally anything. Like my older brother and I, we watched Walking Dead. I've watched, you know that CW show, The Flash?
I'd still keep it.
I think I've seen every episode because it's what my 2 younger brothers were. So they would ask me if I could watch it. And I did, every Tuesday, for years, since it made them happy. So that's just, we try to bond. My youngest brother, I don't. He doesn't have a phone. He's 12. He's 13 so I don't have a whole lot of communication with him unless I talk to my other younger brother, Connor, almost every day. Actually, we stopped and visited him earlier. I don't talk to Braylon. Not after he told me I was a worthless excuse and a disappointment of a sister.
It takes out more than just that.
Did you tell him to go fuck himself?
Yes, I did. He told me if I didn't like what he said, then I should just block him and that I'm a bitch. Yet he kept texting me. Really ruined my 4th of July.
See the reason why you guys got all the information.
And then Taylor, I don't talk to him a whole lot.
Now, the
But
Matrix. If I didn't do the
occasionally
Matrix,
he'll call me to, since we work with dogs, we drew attachments to some dogs. He would call me, give me updates, like I just found out they put So he'll tell me every month or so, and just give me an update. My favorite dog moved to Aurora and doesn't go to Brookfield anymore.
Bless you.
This dog died. And that's really our situation.
Are we going to really drink the water?
Decent relationship with my older. Tom, I talk to him on like Instagram and Snapchat, but I don't text him. He never responds to his text messages. Our relationship is about the same as living together.
On the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Got hail damage? Call Excel Roofing, 303-761-6400.
Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I've been talking to Paul the Waterman about what I want to get. If I want to get that matrix for the whole house, or do I want to get just softening for the house and keep the drinking water in the kitchen? There's so many decisions. Plus, he has UV filters he can do for viruses and bacteria. That's really wonderful, though, that he has an array of products, no high-pressure sales ever, and free water testing. Is that right? Free water testing.
Absolutely free.
All right. Waterpros.net. Free water testing. That's incredible. And that's 303-862-5554. I mean, you're not... I mean, do you realize his most expensive system? I mean, I imagine if you're in the mountains, you have specialized needs and all that. It's different. But I mean, but the most expensive system, around $5,000 for everything, is unbelievable. I mean, I'm not saying you even need that. That's the most expensive. You can get conditioning, softening for $2,000. You can get drinking water under $1,000. Anyway, let's go to Hannah. I want to tell the story. Like I said, there are 10 siblings, 2 parents, growing up in a trailer in Texas. No birth certificates for 4 of them. Life was pretty difficult. None of them went to school except for one. One went to school. And then they didn't go to church. Did you guys have friends growing up, Hannah?
Not really, not a whole lot, no. We mostly made friends either on the internet, which was a bit dangerous, or we would make friends when one of us hit 16 or 18 and went off and got a job.
What's amazing to me is you mentioned you have the internet, so you guys did have a computer at home.
Dial-up internet.
Okay, and by the way, Hannah came to us through her brother. Her brother called us wanted help getting a birth certificate. Suze is working with Texas on getting them after the fact or delayed issue birth certificates, and it's going to be really difficult, but we're working through the process.
I didn't even know there was dial-up internet anymore. I'm not kidding. You're so young.
I think she's probably talking about how long ago?
No, I think we stopped with dial-up internet when I turned 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Do they have... Okay. So right now, your parents are still living like that, but they both work. They did provide food for you kids. They didn't abuse you. I mean, some people would call abuse, not having a, whatever. But I'm saying that all in all, though, it could have been way worse. Right now, though, it's really strange why all this went on and why they just didn't get a birth certificate. Did they, I don't want to get too personal, although we never mention names. Did they file taxes?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
I think the easiest way to say why they didn't file a birth certificate is just that they're lazy.
Okay.
And I don't really care about being too harsh. I don't talk to them, and I know that I know my mother resents me, and I don't know what I ever did for her to hate me.
So, what are the ages of all the kids? Go down from the top to the bottom ages.
So I have a older half brother. I don't know his age. I've never met him, but he's from my mom's first marriage, so he's up there. And then I have my
up there, like what, in his 20s or 30s?
He has to be in his 30s because my oldest full sister, it goes. My oldest sister, I'm 23. She's 33.
Okay.
And then my other sister after her is 31.
Mm-hmm.
And then my older brother is 29.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hit my other older sister who's 26. And then it gets to, the middle children's no birth certificates, which is my brother who's 24, about to be 25. I'm 23. Braylon is 19. And our younger brother just turned 18 2 months ago. And then my last 2 younger brothers are 16, and one is going to be 13 in October.
I think it's amazing that your mother has some issue with you now.
Well, what I want to know is, did your parents ever figure out what causes babies?
I don't think someone ever taught them the birds and the bees.
Well, I mean, why so many kids, I'm wondering? Was that by design?
God.
I don't know. If it was very poor design. This is very selfish. I wish I was never born. I wish my parents stopped having children after my oldest sister was born. I don't think they ever should have been parents. Not with the way they had 4 children with nothing. They had 8 children. They didn't go to school. They didn't get jobs until they were 18. It took my older brother until he was 21 to get his first car because he didn't get to work when he was 15.
I understand, but Hannah, you have to understand that, I mean, in a way, and I'm not sticking up for your parents. I mean, they did provide for you. They provided a home. I know it was Mark, I'm saying that this could have been way worse. I mean,
I don't know how much worse it could be. 10 people in a single
how about the people in New York that tied their kids to a bed and fed them like dogs?
That's okay. Okay, they're one step above it.
Well, Mark. I mean, the dad worked, the mom worked, they had food. I'm not saying they lived up. I'm not talking about a cushy life.
Work, by the way.
I'm not talking about a cushy life. I'm talking about
cushy life. 10 of them in a trailer.
Here's what's frustrating, guys. This girl, I mean, not to throw Hannah out there, she really can't even get birth control without an ID. She can't get a job. She can't get a driver's license. Can't get married.
They did nothing for these kids. I think they're rat bastards, honestly.
Can't even get a silly tattoo if she wanted without proving she is born. It's just nuts. And if anybody out there is listening, have any ideas, help at troubleshooter.com.
Oh, well, and but Suze, you probably will get them birth certificates, right?
I think it's going to be a long, hard road, and I think it's going to entail some organizations and some attorneys to probably help.
Okay. Then also what I'd rather do, I mean, no, I don't mind putting the word out. If you have ideas on this, help us. But I have another thing to put out, and this is true. There might be kids listening right now, or people listening, maybe wives, maybe, I don't know, abused people who need help. You know, get word to us. Seriously, get word to us. We really do help. And call at any time, 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.
Getting some of those earlier wrecks cleared and out of your way. An accident northbound I-25 at 8th has been cleaned up. Still slow from Alameda. At earlier wreck westbound I-70 at 270 has been clear, but volume from I-225 still. A crash at 56 in Vasquez and Commerce City. Slow speeds on that stretch. Otherwise, highways look to be in good shape right now. Northbound I-25 running a little slow from Alameda up to Colfax. Your Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Slight chance of showers later this afternoon. Otherwise, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-80s. Mostly clear tonight down to 56. Mostly sunny tomorrow, mid to upper 80s, and Wednesday partly cloudy, 88. Right now, it's 82. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Katie Mitchell, 630 KHOW.
Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use the code RADIO at checkout. Blindster.com.
Simply Floors Inc. .com. That's INC. Simply Floors Inc. Buddy and Karen Mitchell started this store. It's a beautiful showroom, 52nd and Ward, southwest corner. They also come to you, of course, with anything you're interested in. You make your own appointment at Simply Floors Inc. They started out saying, we want to pass savings on to our customers. We want to give them better installers, and we want to do design consultants for each and every job to supervise the job and make sure they get the right floor coverings for the right job. And that is simplyfloorsinc.com. I met Joan Sullivan many, many years ago. She was doing reverse loans, still is. ApprovalReverse.com. Joan Sullivan is a good person. And as I say, she has a heart for seniors and won't steer you the wrong way. If you need some counseling, you're thinking of a reverse loan, she will answer each and every question. Reverse loans can really help you to get out from under a payment or stay in your home. 303-771-3528, 303-771-3528. If you want free legal advice on estate planning, whether you need a will or a trust, a beneficiary's deed, payable on death certificate for bank accounts, or anything in between, don't make stupid mistakes and try to do it yourself like some people do. Call Blake Harris for free advice, 833-ASK-BLAKE, 833-ASK-BLAKE, and if you decide to hire him, no obligation, you get flat rate pricing, and you can do everything from the comfort of your home or office, even signing documents. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Severe weather is on the rise every year. Rather than relying on our aging power
In the body of the email, please put the name they have on file for you, your claimant's ID, a good phone number, and a short summary of the problem today. Jim,
City,
I don't need all the back and forth, and you talked to this person on this date, they never got back to you, and I don't need any of that. I just need to know what the problem is today. Then what I do is I copy and paste all your information, I send it over to my angel,
but I mean the
unemployment office, and then they generally get in touch pretty quick.
They have like 12 wives, shit like that.
Oh, you mean the Mormon fundamentalists?
Yeah.
See, even
No, I don't think any documentation's necessary for me, but definitely your full name, claimant ID, phone number,
Amish communities,
and then
they don't
a
follow
short
our
summary of the
documents.
issue today.
They have their own set of birth
Yeah, they have records. I'm sure
which
they
is
okay.
like
You are
there's
so
many
welcome.
ways I
Just send
could
that
have
over
had
to
a
help@troubleshooter.com, and I'll get that over to my angel.
at all.
How about if you wanted to leave?
You're welcome. Bye.
You could get a passport to save your life.
I can't even do book a hotel.
You know what? If someone dropped her ass out of the country,
You never get back
the only
in.
way you'd get back in is through the southern border now. You could walk through.
Right.
Other than that, you couldn't get in. You couldn't fly in, drive in.
I'm a walking joke. That's what we are. And it's just depressing. Like we were
Well,
home.
can't the Social Security office help her out? I mean, how do illegal aliens go there and get,
Exactly.
identification?
This is
Mark's,
our life faces.
I don't think Mark's hearing you,
If anyone
Paul, but
wants
I
to-
wondered the same
What
thing.
happens if Braylon breaks up with his girlfriend?
I would think the Social Security office would be able to help out right off the bat, at least to give them an identification, a tax ID number so they really need.
You would think so. Have you heard of that, where they will do that?
Yeah, they get a tax ID number, illegal aliens go in and get a tax ID number, and I think,
that's why he-
doesn't Denver issue IDs?
That he
Illegal aliens
on
IDs?
his own, and I
Well,
think he lives
I don't know. I think you got to have something proving who you are to get. I don't know, Paul, but I will look into that option as well.
I think the Social Security office is where to start.
Is where you think we should start? Okay,
Yeah,
I'll look into that.
Yep, that's going to be free.
With him, yes. At first, I tried to take the high road, and then I got pissed off. So I realized the low road was much more entertaining. So his girlfriend kept messaging me, and I tried explaining to her everything that why I appreciate you helping. This situation does not involve you, and it doesn't affect you the way it affects us. Even he's not getting involved, not unless he gets really pissed off. So I think she should take a step back and she got angry with me. And so, you know, it kept getting worse and worse, and she was just being childish. I mean, she's 17. She's childish. So finally, I said, I'm done. I blocked her phone number. She followed me on Instagram. She started messaging me on Instagram, saying that I was pathetic. I blocked her on Instagram.
.com, the phone number 303-756-ROOF. They're a proud member of Team Dave Logan. Advanced Exteriors, providing you peace of mind.
Tell your smart device to play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio. Then you can hear news and talk that impacts your life.
Getting 630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station. Available on over 2,000 devices.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I want to, before I go mention, I mean, we have a few minutes here, so I want to mention that Paul the Waterman, waterpros.net, I call him Paul the Waterman. You can reach him for specials, so Martino's specials, under $1,000, fully installed, free water testing, and that's water, drinking water, and around $2,000 or a little under for whole house softening. 303-862-5554. Hannah, people are fascinated with your story. I'm getting texts and emails, and it's, you know, they're fascinated that you guys are somewhat invisible. I mean, and now it's being difficult proving who you are. Have you ever thought about maybe putting on a sombrero and making believe you're an illegal alien and or illegal or non-documented and just getting everything, no matter what? You don't have to show anything. I mean, honest to God, I don't mean to. I'm not trying to be mean here, but it's true. If she had illegally crossed the border, she could show up in New York and get a cell phone, Mark, you say, and some gift cards. And
I say they're literally handing them out, and a night or two at a beautiful hotel.
And not only that, a driver's license. And from there, I mean, what do people do? What do people do? Why can't Hannah do that?
I do wonder in the state of Colorado why she cannot get a driver's license.
Why can't she be treated? No, I'm serious.
You need to show your birth certificate.
Yeah,
why
but how
can't
do people from Mexico get driver's
We
license?
can treat her. That's what I'm saying. We treat her like an undocumented person or alien or whatever you want to call them, and just treat her like that. Why not? We give special treatment. No, we give special treatment to people who illegally cross the border. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm not making a moral issue here. I'm making an issue of equality. We have an American girl born in Texas that can't get the same rights as someone who runs across the river.
Yeah, it's odd. I don't know. Somehow they get IDs. I don't know if they get driver's license.
Of course they do, Mark. I've known them. They start businesses.
But do they
and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying it happens.
Have a driver's license from Mexico, maybe.
Mark, I know people who came here with nothing.
And they have a license.
They have a license. They have business licenses. They have a job. They have everything they need. So, I don't know. Do we have to...
Have you ever gone down to the DMV?
Mm-hmm.
What do they say?
They can't help me. I've been down to a DMV.
Tell them you don't speak English.
They told me...
I think that'll help.
They sent me away. I went to Denver. They told me to go to Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs told me to go to them in Teller County. They told me to try the City Hall in Teller County. I went there. They told me to go back to Colorado Springs. They can't help me.
Infuriating.
Yeah, it's a huge circle, and you can't...
I'd really love to talk to my buddy, and I'm dead serious, Pablo, who went through this whole thing. I'd love to talk to him. If he's listening, man, could you text me? He's a great guy, and I want to know how he did it. Okay, I think since he's gotten citizenship and all of that, but he started out with nothing. So I'd like to know. Anyway, we're out of time. Remember, referralist.com. Save all your problems for me.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW. KHOW.com. And on the iHeartRadio app. Leland Conway is next on Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Grab those running shoes on September 4th for the Broncos 7K. Broncos country is leveling up with a video game themed race. All racers will receive a limited edition 8-bit Broncos themed t-shirt and a Broncos video game cartridge medal. Plus, you get to finish on the 50-yard line of Empower Field at Mile High. Space is limited, so register today at Broncos7k.com before it's game over.
After owning a quiet, cool, whole house fan from QCColorado.com, I can speak from first-hand experience. I saved around 90% on my AC bills. You can too. I slept in a cool, comfortable bedroom all summer long. You can too. And as the name implies, it's quiet and cool, as you'll find out. I love mine. You'll love yours. 303-800-3419 or QCColorado.com.
No hazing.
I've been registered